Good afternoon and welcome to Pandora's Wake Apocalypse Age. I'm Brian F. Irving. I'll be your games master for this evening. Pandora's Age is a combination. The setting is by Gethsemane Games, which is us. We'll tell you a little bit more about us in a moment. But the rules system we'll be using is Modern Age by our friends over at Green Ronin Games. Do check them out at greenronin.com. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm your games master. I'm Brian F. Irving. I'm from both Gethsemane Games and DH9 Radio. The system we'll be using is Modern Age by Green Ronin Publishing. The setting is Pandora's Wake by Gethsemane Games. Sound effects are by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, with some from BattleBards and freesound.org. The music is a combination. Some is by Kevin MacLeod in Comptech.com, such as the music you can hear behind my vocals now. There may also be some music from the DH9 production unit later in the show. Excuse me. The maps today are actually, there's quite a cross-section. So we have maps by Gethsemane Games. That includes the bunker map that we may be visiting at some point. But we also have maps in use for today from Save vs. Cave and from Vile Tiles. Do check them out on the Roll20 marketplace. The game will be played over Roll20. And your cast this evening. Mark can't be with us, he's at work, so let's start with Chris Gibson.
Hello.
Short and to the point.
I play Adam Taylor.
He does. And he doesn't feel the need to tell us anything more about Adam Taylor right now, that's okay. So Jenny Savall as Erin Black.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I play Erin Black, who is a rescue helicopter pilot for the Coast Guard.
Indeed. Ben Watson.
Hello, I play Joe Watson, who is devilishly handsome and was a bank robber.
Sean McGile.
Yeah, evening. I'm Thomas Gallagher, car mechanic extraordinaire.
And Marie McGowan Irving.
Hello, I'm Marie. I play Lizzie Ryan, who is a parkour specialist and a professional athlete.
Indeed. So a year has passed since the Pandora event, the night that the skies turned purple and tore open to reveal what lay behind. The Otherverse. A lethal hellscape populated by plant and animal species that knew no fear of humanity and which spilled into our universe. The first to cross were the deadly predatory fauna of the Otherverse. No more than animals, but seemingly with an endless hunger for terrestrial life. At first, humanity held its own. For all the savagery of the Otherverse, our technology and weapons gave us a distinct edge that the animals of the Otherverse just couldn't match. Then came the flora, no less deadly than the fauna, it seemed. Some toxic to terrestrial life, some carnivorous and predatory like the animals that had come before. The alien plant life took root in our world and began to terraform it into a copy of its own. And with it came the diseases, wave after wave of deadly pathogen. Cracks began to show. Smaller, often rural areas began to fall to the Otherverse. Our food and supply chains began to buckle under the strain, and riots broke out in the cities as food and fuel shortages loomed. But still, the Otherverse spilled across the earth. Currently, we're in stage 2, which is the period of societal collapse. So society still currently exists, but it's beginning to fray. It's beginning to break down around the edges. Our heroes have made a new home for themselves in an old Cold War R1 bunker deep beneath the countryside of Northumberland. I'll just show everybody the bunker, actually. Let's do that. Those of you who haven't seen the bunker since we did the upgrade. So there you go. That's the bunker as it stands at the moment, with the various upgrades that the party have installed on it. The bunker, which was purchased from a local farmer, is underneath a field on the farmer's old land, although they've bought the field as well. Recently, the farmer, Bill, has discovered, flower pot man between them, has discovered alien plant life on the edges of his land, and the party assisted in burning it out. But in so doing, they discovered something much more dangerous, a new creature from the other verse, layering in the mines to the northwest. When we left the party last, they were desperately trying to seal the two known mine entrances into the area that these monstrous creatures have taken for a lair. More than half of the party are dealing with the front entrance of the mines, and had managed to bring part of it down, causing a bit of a landslide. I'll just bring you over so you can all see that. Can you all see that current map? Or most of you at least? Okay, notice
Yeah.
we did a lot of Theatre of the Mind last time because you took me a little bit by surprise. I was expecting you all to go in, and instead you're just like, let's collapse the entrance. Meanwhile,
Ben went in.
Ben went in, yes. Meanwhile, other members of the party have worked their way round to the rear entrance of the mines. So let's head over to the back passage, and over there we should find three party members here. We have, as I recall, Thomas, Adam, and Ben. I've just forgotten your character's name again.
Joe.
Joe, thank you. Joe, working their way round to the rear entrance, having sent Thomas to collect some gear to bring it down. You've just fought your way through a number of the alien creatures. When I say fought your way through, Thomas drove them all down in the car, essentially. Just knocked them all over. And the entrance to the mine is up ahead to the northwest of you. Can everybody see that map, including the characters that aren't actually there?
Yes.
Good.
I don't see Joe anywhere.
It's directly
I'm
under
in the
you.
car.
Yeah, you and him
Who's
are in
that?
the car. If the car moves, both of you will... Oh, Thomas
Alright.
didn't move with it. She should have done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out the car,
just-
Thomas. I'm driving.
There you go. Now, if you move the car, the pair of you should both move automatically with it.
Do you remember how messed up the car was? Because there was penalties on it.
The car is quite badly messed up, yes. Thomas, you can hear the engines not sounding at all right. There's a clanking sound. There's also a bit of a hissing sound, and it's overheating. It's definitely quite badly damaged, and you've damaged the wheel arches going over the creatures. The creatures have also torn a lot of the panels off the side. So the vehicle's quite badly damaged and is going to need some repair. Fortunately, you know a man who's going to be able to handle that.
Do you reckon I'd pass an MOT?
Yeah, we can. That'll just pop out. That just get a plunger and a hairdryer, and you just you fix those dents.
So what are you guys going to do? And I'm starting with the people round at the back.
Well, I suggest we go over to the entrance and attempt to do something about it.
Okay.
I second that.
Could you both give me a perception seeing test, please?
I will also, I guess.
You can as well, because you're also there. I couldn't remember if you were actually in the car or if you dismounted to operate the drone from outside. So
I think it was in the car.
you're in the car,
yeah.
right? You are. Not a problem. Just follow the car around when it moves.
15 with 3 stun points.
15 with 3 stun points. That's a pass. So what you will notice then is there are more of these creatures gathering around the entrance.
Can I don't remember what that stun's from, but the one that boosts your initiative.
Yes, you can.
Forgot which one it's from. Can away.
Yeah, so
I would have gone for intuition or something.
you've gone a little bit quiet again there, Chris.
Oh, sorry. I was just
Sorry?
talking quiet.
Ah, right, okay, not a problem. I should probably have mentioned this at the start of play, but Chris's laptop has a damaged microphone, so he's currently using the
Tablet.
mic on his tablet instead. So he's a
Okay.
little bit quieter than is
Right.
ideal, but hopefully by next week we should see the repairs done. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
And we should hear improvements.
These creatures, you notice as they're coming out, they don't seem to. Well, they might actually hear the car because it's quite badly damaged, but they don't. They're coming out and kind of looking round over to the west. You get the impression that it's not your approach that seems to have attracted their attention. There does seem to be quite a mob of them, though. I'm going to give them 2 tests, because there's quite a lot of these guys. I'm not going to give them a test for every single one. I'm going to say there's a total of 2 tests to see if they can hear you coming. It's fairly easy to hear a car approaching off-road, especially when the car's got a damaged engine and some loose panelling.
Ah, shit, no.
So I'm going to say it's a 9 or better they're going to need to roll in order to notice you. Otherwise, they'll be concentrating on what it is they came out here to do in the first place. And I just need to find their sheets, which I'm struggling with. Well, creatures of the Otherverse, that's why it's closed. Whippersnappers. Characters.
Whippersnapper.
So they need to beat 9 with a perception hearing. Oh yes, they've definitely noticed you. Don't know why I rolled the second one, because the first one did. So they kind of turn to face you as your car is approaching. There's a moment's standoff as more of these things are building up behind the group at the front. What are you guys going to do?
I don't think there's too many of them. Sorry, to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think
you could try and scare them off.
Scare them off. How?
Well, you're in a big red car that they've already seen as an enemy, or like the previous group did, and you can just use the horn, loud
they
noises.
didn't get the information back.
I thought one of them
I know,
ran away.
but like the last
True.
ones, they were all scared of the car. So these ones are probably going to be scared of the car, and
Can
I
use the
make-
horn.
Can I
Loud
make? Yes,
idea.
that was going to be my suggestion.
Uh-huh.
Use the horn.
Okay. You can certainly give it a try. I mean, you do remember they were a bit nervous of the car the last time as well.
But that's not what I want. That's not what I want to do. That's just a suggestion.
Okay.
What I want to do is see what they're looking at.
Okay.
I have an idea as well.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. We all get out the car and we put it in, trying to jimmy the acceleration and ram it into the cave.
You could do. It would just about fill the mouth of the mine shaft, providing, of course, that you hit it square on. If it doesn't hit square on, you might just kind of deflect off.
I'm sure you could rig the horn to constantly go off as well if you wanted.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even require a test for that from Thomas. He's easily going to know how to set the horn on constant if he wants to.
But
It's just a matter of twisting 2 wires together.
Or disconnecting a wire.
Yeah.
No, shouldn't give away trade secrets.
Okay, so Sean, I believe you're driving the car, so it's up to you what you want to do.
We've got a lot of stuff in the car though, which we brought across.
You have, yeah.
Do we want to offload that at this point? I mean, is it a case of we do the old hero type thing?
I lost you there, Sean. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we stuff an oily rag into the petrol tank, take the petrol cap off,
Ooh,
yeah,
right.
Oh Jesus!
set it on fire, and then drive it at them.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, it's not one of those sort of movies. That's better.
I forgot the director.
Block that, but if you can use the car itself.
Well, I suppose a car explosion might cause the mine to collapse.
But the problem is, right? Yeah, they're a hunting pack of creatures. They're pack oriented.
They are, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
There's more than 4 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if this doesn't work, we're on foot and in the open. Are we quicker than they are?
I think I remember that they're quicker than you, but I'm just going to check.
Not quicker than me.
From your previous encounters, they're about average human speed, give or take.
Not as quick as me. I can outrun them. I can outrun you guys.
Anybody who has a speed of 12 or better has been able to outmaneuver them in the past.
Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, I can do that.
If we don't want to use the car, then what is our alternative? Let's just think about that for a sec.
Well, this is the thing. We're going to have to make a decision quickly.
Yeah,
right.
No, I'm out of ammo aside from a couple poison arrows that I've got.
You're out of ammo, are you?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have any spare bullets on you, I can't really do much.
Oh, bullets. All right.
I don't have any. I have fashioned arrows, but I don't have any bullets.
Right. Okay. Because I would have had a bow and arrow in the car as a thing, deliberately at that point. So what I would suggest is,
to be honest, I think we should just stand and fight. To be honest, there's 4 of them. There's 3 of us.
No.
We can do it. We'll be fine.
No. There's more than 4 of them. There's probably 8 or more of those.
There's 4 out in the open, but how many there are behind them in the darkened cave mouth of the old abandoned mine, that's an entirely different question.
Well, I still want to, before I make a decision, can I do a test to see if I can look at what they're looking at? Because they were interested in something
They're looking
else
at you,
before.
aren't they?
Well,
no, they were looking
at
west
something
originally.
before they noticed him, yes.
Yeah, that'll be the big red dinosaur type creature. It's coming to get you.
14 is a pass. They're looking. It looks like these ones have come out the side entrance because they're aware that the main entrance is now blocked, or at least partially blocked.
So they're going to go flank. Is that what it is?
It looks like that. Well, whether or not they're intending to flank, they certainly don't intend to be trapped inside. Oh shit! They certainly don't intend to be trapped inside the.
They'll be coming round to get us, basically, at the front.
They'll be coming round to get you when they come.
You're a good driver, Thomas. Just fucking ram them into the hole, and it'll be fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna need
an answer. I think that's the decision because the car's probably on its last legs anyway, and we've got plenty of transport.
So
you can always scavenge another one up.
Okay. Yeah.
Just let me get out the car first before you set fire, please.
What?
Okay.
No, that door's now jammed shut because the creature damaged it. You can't get out.
Child locks.
Okay, could you all give me your initiative tests, please? Try and
Are you able
remember.
to use those stun points to get a better one?
Yes, you can. Yeah. Try and remember to make the rules with your cursor
it's a
on
shit
your
initiative anyway. I got a 12. I don't know how many.
What was the stunt points you spent?
I had 3.
Okay, so
you had 3.
I had 3.
Okay, so that'll take you up 14. So I have Adam Taylor, Joe Watson, and Thomas Gallagher all in there at the moment. So
I can change it myself, but
I've done it.
It says my initiative's 4.
Oh, so it does. I should say 14. 14.
Oh, they're fast.
Are you going to get the stuff out of the car first? Do you think you've got time to do that?
No.
Do you want to do the whole rag in the petrol, in the fuel, to see if it blows up?
Okay, so Thomas, it's you to go first.
Might anyway.
Well, I mean, how far can the car move?
The car can move clean across this this map in one go if you wanted to.
Right. Okay. So technically speaking, I could ram into those 4 things from here with the car.
Yes.
And am I able to jump out the car part way there, sort of thing?
That sounds like the sort of heroic thing I'm definitely going to allow, yes.
Yeah.
Action movie style shit.
Yeah.
So who else is in the car?
Me.
At what point would they be getting out of the car? Would it be on their initiative?
I will allow him to jump when... Well... It
This
would
is
be
the
on
thing.
You could
their...
hold your action.
It would be on their initiative, but what I'll do is I'll have... I'll play a little bit fast and loose here. So you can tell me what you're going to do. The creature that would have acted before Ben will get an action before the car hits, and Ben will get an action just before the car hits as well.
Right, okay. So effectively, I'm just going to go straight at them. I mean, I've got 6 stump points on initiative there. I don't know if that counts for anything.
No, not for initiative, but if you could give me a measurement from the car to the where you will impact the creatures, please, so I can work out what the damage is going to be.
It's 17 squares from the front bumper, effectively.
It's 17 squares from the front bumper. Okay, so let me just have a look at the damage. This is going to be quite a bit.
And I don't think it's going to hit anything in between, effectively. No rough ground
doesn't look
patches.
like it.
There's not a great deal of rough ground between you and the creatures, no. So give me a driving roll with a +2 bonus.
Driving roll. This is where it all falls apart. That'll be dexterity, won't it?
Sorry, yes, it is dexterity.
Here we go. Watch this. 111.
Please don't.
Curse yourself.
Just flips the car and it sets on fire.
19.
Wow. Nice.
19, right, so you hurtle the car up towards these creatures. Now you're going to have to try and jump out without injuring yourself. So give me a dexterity acrobatics test, please. The speed you're going at is quite considerable. So the target number you're going to have will be... I'm going to make it challenging. So 13. If you beat a 13, you haven't injured yourself.
Okay.
Hi, Chris rolling.
Oh, no.
Accidental.
Okay, so you are going to injure yourself
Right.
in the process. So I'll just calculate the damage from jumping out of a fast-moving car and rolling across the ground. Let me have a look.
You're on soft ground, though.
I do have the survival guide for exiting a moving vehicle.
Good. Good.
That'll impact the fall.
Yes.
You have improvisation, don't you?
Your toughness... yes, he does. Your toughness...
Improvisation's about tools.
Yes, it is.
You
Yeah.
could use something that's inside to cushion your fall if you would drag it with you.
Like Ben.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Use bed to cushion your fall.
Okay, so you're flinging yourself
Oh,
sideways
Joe.
out of the car. You take 13 points of damage.
Ooh,
Your
Fucking
toughness,
hell.
your toughness will reduce that.
holy shit.
And I'm just going to move the car. I'm going to have to pan out a bit here to get both the
How
car.
fast was he
You
going?
don't want to use Ben as a
Fast
cushion.
enough to kill these things when it hits, presumably. Oh, wait till you see the damage they're going to be taking. Okay, so...
Can I get out the car before we crash, please?
Well...
I'm just kind of sat here.
We're gonna see. So, yeah, somewhere along that axis, jump Thomas out. It's gonna have to be at least further ahead than this because you had to keep the car on target.
We
Sorry,
like this
sorry.
bush shot
Sorry,
and-
whereabouts are you clicking?
Roughly central. Roughly central. on
Roughly
the map.
central.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be before that or after that?
After
So-
that.
Right,
Right,
so
I see,
I'll
remember.
probably be there then.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just move
That's
you up to
fair.
there.
Right onto the stones. Go on.
So you jump out and roll across the ground. You bang elbows,
Slide
knees.
down.
You're really thumping around as you jump out. You can hear something crack. You know you've broken a bone, but you're not sure what it is. Everything, absolutely everything hurts. As the car hits, one of these creatures jumps forward and lands on the bonnet. Its tendrils start flailing madly at them. And that creature, I believe I might have just given control of it to somebody. Let me see.
That's where Thomas Gallagher's head stuck down a badger hole. He's
So-
upside down as choke.
So Jenny, I'm going to give you control of a whippersnapper. Just give me a second.
Okay.
And you're going to try and kill Either the car or what it conceives to be the driver, because it doesn't really understand that that's not the driver. Something went wrong about that. Oh no, there you go. There you go. You should be able to see the whippersnapper's stats now.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Tell you what, Brian, that illustration is a lot more horrifying than the pug.
Well, thank Jenny for that, because she did the art for it.
Looks like
I
a
drew
shrimp.
it.
Was it based on a particular alien?
Nope, it's based on a miniature by CP Models. Or the scene. No, it's by the scene. Sorry.
Which is what the actual pugs are, Rob.
Which is what the actual pugs are. It's a photograph of the miniature.
Yeah. It's a creepy little shit. That's what it is.
It is, yes.
Right.
Kind of looks like a shrimp.
Yeah.
Makes it just even more weird.
Hold
Sort
on.
of weird, yeah.
Just going to get rid of that one you've added. So it's this one here that you've got that I'm pinging now, the one that's on the bonnet.
Okay.
So it's actually arrived, it's kind of lurched forward, so just before the car hits, it jumps onto the bonnet and it's on the the windshield there now. That's where you're at when it attacks. What's it going to do?
It'll use its whippy things to try and strike at I guess it's the window or whatever it thinks is in there.
Okay,
I mean, it might even see its own reflection and think it's another.
So it's essentially trying to kill the human it can see through the glass. So that will mean, Ben, if you get hit, the glass's armour will count towards your armour. Okay?
Yeah.
So, go ahead and make an attack with your whippy. Jesus Christ.
Gonna die.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you've got 6 points of stunts. You can use either combat stunts or you can use anti-vehicle stunts.
I don't want to kill myself, but there is a very nasty anti-vehicle stunt.
Yeah, maybe keep your mouth shut about that one till Jenny's not handling the enemy.
Yeah, just a second. Right, let's see. Combat or anti-vehicle? Well, I'm going to be looking at the anti-vehicle ones now.
See what you've gone and done? See what you've gone and done? You've pointed right. You know she's got a nasty streak.
You know I do. Well, okay. Ooh. Fuel line. Your attack or maneuver ruptures the fuel line of an enemy vehicle, causing an explosion or burst of flame. Or there's mobility kill. Your attack destroys the vehicle's engine. I mean, it wouldn't destroy the engine. I don't think it'd get to the fuel line either, would it? Really, I suppose.
Well, the fuel has to be going through the engine at some point. So, and it's on the bonnet, so it's wild flailing and its claws.
I guess it could do.
I'm going to say that yes, you could rupture the fuel line, and once the fuel's spilling out of the back.
Yeah.
We will work out how the detonation occurs, because this is not Hollywood and it's not generally as easy as they make it appear.
Yeah.
But we'll say that something's caused it.
To be fair, I do have one stunt point left over,
Right.
which I can use for Pierce Hull. Penetrates the vehicle's exceptionally tough outer shell. If it's got a hull rating, you must spend SP equal to it on this stunt before spending another SP. So, like, I'd only have one for that, but, you know.
That's okay. This is just a standard sedan, so that's enough to penetrate its...
Shouldn't have said anything, Ben.
Had it been your car, which you had up-armoured by Thomas, then that would not have gone through, but this car isn't up-armoured. This one was just the one Thomas grabbed because it had a lot of boot space.
One, yeah. Right, so, what damage am I rolling?
So for the whip strike, this is against Ben's character Joe. It's 1d3 plus 1.
Yeah, it's just the normal damage for that then, isn't it? It's only a 3.
It's only a 3, so that's 1 point is lost to the windshield as it whips through and smashes the windshield. Ben, there's glass raining down on you, but fortunately for you it's safety glass, so you're not cut by any of it. You cover your head as this monstrous thing smashes its way through the window. That was the standard damage. What are you doing for the rest of the stunts?
Right, well, it says for the fuel line attack, It says it deals 3d6 penetrating damage to the driver, well, the operator, it says, and all passengers.
Right.
And it has the mobility kill stunt as well. And has the effects of the mobility kill stunt as well.
Right.
Right, okay, so...
Okay, so
3d6 penetrating.
as the creature lashes through the windscreen, its claws rip through the bonnet as well. And it feels something hot down there. It strikes down with its beak, and the beak severs part of the engine and the fuel line. It comes back up with part of the fuel line in its beak, and it's spraying fuel about. Would you like to go ahead and roll the damage for the fuel, please?
It's 11. I already rolled it.
11, right you are. Ben, could you take 11 points of damage and scream, please?
You're on, because it says, it's like an explosion or burst of flame that causes the damage, isn't it? So, yeah.
So you're not actually exactly sure what caused the explosion, but since the car is currently crashing into the thing, you think it's got, something to do, probably, with that. And for some reason, I don't seem to be able to find... Oh, there we go, that'll do. Big-ass fireball.
Oh, fucking hell. That was a big fireball.
Yes. I'm just going to move that back.
Thomas, why did you bring a 1,000-pound bomb with you?
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Okay, so Ben, you took 11 points of penetrating damage. So any armor you've got is ignored. Your toughness isn't going to help you with that either, so it's 11 points of damage directed to you. However, it's now your go, and you can try and fling yourself out of the burning car.
Ben, can I give you a suggestion?
And then we'll roll the damage that the creatures take.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yes, Chris?
Brace yourself for your minor action, and then jump out the back of the car on your major.
Sure.
Okay, you're going to give
What do you want me to roll?
Dexterity acrobatics, please, and it's 13 to beat, otherwise you're going to hurt yourself coming out the back.
Ooh,
Okay, so you fling yourself out the back of the car just before the car impacts the creatures, and this is where it's going to get a bit nasty, so I just need to check which rulebook I need for this one. I think it's the companion, actually. Companion... One campaign, extraordinary abilities, stunts. Oh god, where is it? Rules, stunts, technology. Okay, so you do 2 for the size of the car, 3 for the speed, 5 dice of damage, please, Sean, is the amount that you're going to do to each of these creatures.
Is it just one roll applied to all of them, or individually?
You can do whichever you prefer, as long as you decide before you make the roll.
It's going to set them on fire now as well.
Yes, I'll come on to the fire damage afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. So, how many creatures are there?
It's going to hit the first 4.
Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so that one's got 3 hit points left. So the one that jumped onto the bonnet, it also slammed straight through the bonnet by the force of the impact. One of its tentacles is ripped clean off. Several of its bones are broken as well.
Oh, cool with it, Jenny.
The one behind it is slightly protected by the bits of rubbery flesh from its companion. This one takes a bang straight in the face from the car.
Misses.
Yeah.
What game are we playing?
I think I have... Oh no, that's armor piercing, so that's fine. And this one is going to be left with 1 hit point. And then the car explodes, because as it hits the side of the entrance, it kind of... parts of the metal are ripped clean off. The sparks fly everywhere. There's a shower of sparks as this thing jams itself into the narrow confines of the mine shaft, and then... So, if you could roll another 2d6 damage for each of the creatures, please.
I think they're dead, like.
I think some of them will be.
Oh.
Yeah. So that one is... Hang on, let me just Kill that one off. That one's dead. Yeah,
Oh,
and this one.
rest in peace, Whipperjay.
Right you are. That
One's
one's
very dead.
blown apart as well. This one next. And, yep, that one's gone. And, oh, sorry, that one didn't. There we go. And finally this one, which apparently didn't take the damage it should have done earlier, so let me just...
If that was the fourth one in the rolls, that'd be 25 in total.
25 in total. Yep, that one's gone as well. So, the car ploughs into the things. Some get mowed down and go underneath it. Some are flung sideways. But when the car detonates from the shower of sparks, the entire lot, as the ones that survived being run over or hit, start clawing their way towards you, and then they're just engulfed in these flames. Bits of whippersnapper goes hurling through the air. There's a massive clattering, screaming noise from inside the mines as the ones that were a bit further in and protected by it run the fuck away back into the mines.
Does that collapse the entrance or the exit?
Now then, there's a good question. It might do. So, let me... I'm just trying to think how to do this. Okay, so parts of the mine entrance have started to buckle. You've knocked out both of the rotten wooden supports. So yeah, you've got bits of stonework are now dropping onto the front of this utterly destroyed car. If any of these creatures had survived what's just happened to them, this rain of stone would finish them off. Some of the fleeing creatures are caught by some of it as well. So whilst the entrance hasn't completely collapsed, there's been enough of it has come down that they can still get out, but they would have to crawl over this broken stonework, parts of which are on fire.
Yeah, I mean, most creatures are scared of fire as well, so I guess they would...
They're also pretty scared of this car, but you haven't worked out why yet. You assume it's just because it's a big alien thing.
I know why.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be... Because it's a big red thing, like those carnosaurs.
Yes.
Chug a big red car.
Yeah.
Carnosaur.
Yes.
Carnosaur.
They
Carnosaur.
probably preys on these things as well as other stuff.
They do, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're mistaken it for one of the big carnosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which breathes fire.
Yes, this one breathes fire.
I've never seen that before.
Fire breathing carnosaur. True.
Okay, so you're both
Yeah.
quite...
Oh God, carnosaur as well. I've just realised.
Yeah, that's what Sean's been saying.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Could I
catch up there.
Yes, go ahead, Chris.
could I run to Sean and heal him?
Yes? You can run up to him, give him some first aid if you would like to. Yep. He's currently not on fire, unlike the car, but he is very badly injured.
And I do still have eyebrows, though, unlike Watson.
Yes.
Did Joe not take any damage falling?
Falling? No, but he took as much fire damage as I had.
If I did take falling damage, I probably would have died.
You actually did. You passed the roll, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you take a lower amount, so you only take 1d6 fallen damage from jumping out of the car. So that's another 3 damage.
But your toughness...
Your toughness will be able to mitigate that.
So I won't take any more then.
Okay.
I'm not trying to kill you or anything.
You need to make an intelligence test, Chris. Beat 11.
Yeah.
Any particular subcategory? I've got
Healing.
biology, research. Okay.
Healing.
Medicine, healing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Did I fail an intelligence check?
Okay, you've never seen anybody with quite as many injuries and still, like, he's not
Just wait till you
standing
see me.
exactly, but by the time you get to him, he's like crawled onto his hands and knees and is trying to get up. And you've never seen anybody with this many injuries still conscious.
I will
you've
immediately
literally
radio
got no
the other
idea where to
guys.
start. You'll immediately
Right.
radio what, sorry?
The other ones, the other guys at the other entrance.
The other guys.
Okay.
Right you are.
Well,
So,
I've got medical training.
From their perspective, they've seen heard a loud explosion and seen a fireball over wherever that was.
yes,
Yeah.
you have, yep. So, going back to you guys, as you're sort of getting your breath back from where you brought the cave mouth down, or the mine entrance down on these creatures earlier, you hear in the distance a sort of boom, boom, and you look over, you can see all this smoke and billowing fire as this fireball detonates in the distance. Whilst you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on now, you get a radio call from Adam. Chris, go ahead and tell them what you're saying on the radio.
And we kind of just ran the car into the other hole because they were coming out. But we've got some injuries over here. Can someone get over here quick?
Great. Okay. Well, I guess I will start making my way over there then.
We're downtown.
Yeah.
Walking fast.
So what are the rest of you doing while Erin's racing over to the back passage?
Lizzie's coming with me, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm coming to.
Well, they can still get out this way.
Yes.
I know that's the thing, but
And you can leave Rab and Vicky to fight them.
yeah, I mean, shame Rab doesn't have his Molotovs.
What makes you think
They
Rab
don't
doesn't have
have
his
the thing in
Molotov?
Molotovs, yeah.
Yeah, he probably would. That might help then.
I'll say to Rab, see if they come out there right. Fucking chub them.
He's like, all right, that didn't sound like right at all. That sounded like South London. Hold on.
It got me, yeah.
It's now London Scottish.
Genuinely cannot do the accent.
It's likely to be. I no bother, man. I'll fucking chub them.
Right.
I'll fuck them right up.
He is, however, going to have to chib them because apparently his Molotovs, he did pack 2 for the mission, but he left them in the car.
Oh.
Okay, that sounds about fucking
Ah,
Your car?
sake.
it wasn't my car, was it?
The one you've just crashed is the one he'd left the Molotovs in. Because
Oh.
he loaded it up before you all set off. He got a bit confused about the fact that you were going to get equipment and he was coming this way.
Well, no wonder it made a loud explosion.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure they'll be able to hold them off long enough for us.
You
know,
are
you
you? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does it look
I mean, I
like...
can stay behind if you think. I mean, bear in mind, my weapons are mostly harsh language and kicking them in the face.
Okay, well, I'm just
Yeah.
removing everybody from the other battle. And if those of you who are on this map could give me a roll for your initiative now, please. Remember to have your cursor selected your character when you do, please.
Does
And-
Lizzie have... Lizzie has medical, like, first aid or something, or medical skills, does she? Or am I imagining that?
I'm just checking. Nope.
Right, okay, so it's only me then.
I
Just
do as
rolling
well,
my
but
initiative.
Oh, holy shit. 20.
Let's just roll for these ones that are swarming up into this thing at the moment.
Oh, I didn't take the click on my pog. Sorry, Brian.
That's okay, I'll sort it in a minute. Just let me do these ones and then I'll get to it. Okay, so it didn't do, this was Lizzie's, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lizzie got 20.
Okay, you got 20, right, okay, fucking hell, okay. Do you have access to...
I'll do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
17 for Vicky.
Excellent, thank you. I will just... and does somebody have access to Rab?
I will do, actually.
Right, go ahead and do Rab for me.
Just again, let's see. That will be... help if it went a bit faster. Right.
Okay. Let Let's
That was a low roll.
that organised them all in. Yes, it has. Excellent. So, starting with Lizzie, what's she doing?
Right. What would you? I don't have any first aid training. All I can do is pull people along or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm the best suited to sort of shoulder somebody and carry them out more than any kind of first aid or anything. So what do you want me to do,
Throw rocks.
Jenny?
Well, if it looks, I'm just trying to get. I mean, how hard are these whippersnappers finding it to climb over all this rubble and everything?
They're finding it a touch tricky. They can't get out of the main entrance. They can get out here one at a time.
Okay.
So one at a time they can get. If they can get down to about here over the rocks, which slows them down, and then they come up onto this little ledge out here. However, it's rough terrain, so it is halving their movement.
Okay.
And they can only get through this gap one at a time.
Well, I'm thinking, because if Lizzie comes with me,
You could assist with the burner.
Sorry?
You could assist with Joe, who's burnt, while she could assist with.
Well,
Do either of you have guns, Sonia?
if they're needing actual medical attention, though, I'm the only one who has medicine. So it
I
depends.
thought you had a shotgun, Jenny.
Me? No.
Yeah.
I've got.
Who had a shotgun?
You.
No, I didn't.
I didn't have a shotgun. I had a pistol.
I've got a baseball bat, a compound ball, a hammer. So that's all.
Someone
You
had the
shotgun
farmer's
from the
spare
farm, I
shotgun.
remember.
Right. So what are you going to do, Jenny?
Well, I'll say it's up to Lizzie, but
Hold on a minute. Why are we asking what you're going to do? Because it's Lizzie to go, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
How did we
I
move
know,
on to
'cause
you?
I don't know. You were asking me what I was going to do, and I was like,
Yeah.
That's why I said it's kind of up to Lizzie, but
Yeah. So Marie, what's Lizzie doing?
Okay, I'll come with them. I'll come with Erin.
yeah, I think that they'll probably Rab and Vicky will probably be okay for a little while if they're only able to come out one at a time. Rab has like a big fuck off sledgehammer thing for a start,
Yeah.
and Vicky's got a freaking chainsaw. So they'd probably be okay if needed to. Plus, Lizzie can run really fucking fast, so if she needed to head back really quick, then she could probably manage it relatively swiftly.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so Marie, you can start moving yourself towards the eastern end of the map then. A minor action will get you your movement in squares, and a major action will get you double your speed in squares, which should carry you off the side of this map. You'll be at the other one in 3 rounds.
Right, my speed's 15, so
Okay, so and now it's Vicky to go. Who's going to play Vicky for me? Because I don't want to have to handle both sides.
Sean has the character sheet.
Okay.
I have a character sheet. You can find those.
It was Lizzie.
What?
It was Lizzie who had the shotgun.
Oh,
I just went through the entire chat log to find it. Lizzie, you have
bloody
a shotgun.
You listening to that, Marie?
yes, I heard that.
Right, okay.
Lizzie's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Sorry, it was driving me mental not knowing.
Okay, so Sean, you handle Vicky for us for now. What is she going to do?
So is Vicky able to get to this position hidden in the rocks, waiting to hit whatever comes pokes its head out?
Yes, she can.
With she's got a fire axe, hasn't she?
She's got a chainsaw as well.
I'm not so sure a chainsaw's a good thing to do, because if you start it up, it'll make a noise, perhaps.
That's a very
But then
good
again,
point. Yeah.
and conservation of fuel might be a good thing. So
Right.
Yes, it could be. So the fire axe is going to be your preferred weapon.
at this point, I'm just going to sort of like hold action there until something sticks its head out and then swing at it when it comes out.
Okay, so the next thing to go is one of the creatures, and it is, let me just see which one. It's that one that's stuck at the back, so it can't actually go anywhere. So who's going to play Rab? That's going to have to be you, I think, Jenny.
Yeah.
That way, if you
Okay.
get him killed, it's just like
It's
you
my
and Mark
Domestic.
can argue about it yourselves.
All right. Well, he's not exactly one to wait around, so
No,
he's
he's
going to position himself like right here on the other opposite side, and he's going to get his sledgehammer ready.
Right,
And
so
I-
you-
I thought you were going to say he's going to look down the tunnel and drop his pants and shake his butt at them, saying, "Come and get it," sort of thing. You know, here's the meat.
next beastie to go is also at the back, so it can't. So it's this one. This one's coming out. So I'm going to give it a perception roll to see if it senses there's anything about to ambush it. So it's going to be a straight perception test. Give me a stealth check for both Rab and for Lizzie, please. Give them +2 on their stealth.
Oh, okay.
You
mean
want
Vicky?
to add 2 to this.
Yes.
Oh my god. He got
18.
23 with
Right.
+2.
The creature has no idea what's about to happen, so it kind of crawls its way over the rocks. You can hear rocks clattering and being knocked about as this thing slimes its way up there. You can see one tentacle comes out and slaps onto the rock, and then another one on the other side heaves itself out. It accidentally knocks some of the debris back down into the hole behind it as it comes out and takes a look round just before whack thump. So it's got
Okay.
just enough time to see what's about to happen to it, but no time to do anything about it. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Okay.
Okay, so Rab scored 13. That's a 14 because he didn't know you were there, and a 15 because you outnumber the thing. That's easily a hit. It would have been a hit even without the bonuses. And Vicky has also hit as well, with 3 stunt points, in fact. And I think Rab also
Rab
got
got
4
4.
stunt points as well.
Right, well, he did 9 damage. I'm going to look at the stunts.
So Rab's done 9 points of damage, yeah?
Yep,
So it's
far.
non-ballistic damage, but it is wounding because he's using the big hammer. So that's 4 gets through its carapace.
Let's see. It's got 4. Not enough to do lethal blow, sadly. Lightning attack. He's going to use
I'm
that.
just going to hit it again, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit it again.
Probably shouting something along the lines of "Get it, ruin you."
Did it ruin you?
Yeah.
By the way.
So what we'll do then, we'll say he wangs down the mallet on the back of the creature. Whack! As he's doing that, Lizzie hits it in the side with the axe. So let's have the damage and the stunts from Lizzie. And then,
It's
as
Vicky.
she's hitting
It's
it,
Vicky.
Vicky, sorry.
Yeah.
As she's hitting it, Rab recovers the momentum and hits it a second time. So he'll do his second hit after hers. So let's have Vicky's damage. Okay, so
Piss poor.
yeah, her fire axe sadly glances off the side of the creature's carapace.
Yeah, we
But
both
what's the
rolled.
3?
rolled.
What's the 3 stunt points she's going to use though?
3 stunt points.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna like this.
Okay, go on.
Right. So what's gonna happen is, where's it gone? Double team.
Ah.
Oh no,
Rab hits it again.
Jesus.
So
Right.
he's going to get another 2 attacks.
Yeah, he gets another 2 attacks.
hell?
So make his second attack. He's just gone completely mental on it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for Rab, like.
Oh god, right,
Oh,
okay.
wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, this was an attack generated by stunts, so it can't in
Yeah.
itself generate stunts, but that's a definite hit. It's another 9 points of damage.
He keeps
So-
rolling the lowest damage as well.
Is that the
so-
lowest? God,
Yeah.
right, okay. Okay, so
And
he's
then another attack.
smacked the thing a second time, and then he brings the Melhammer above his head, and wham! Brings it down a third time, yelling some obscenities in a broad Glaswegian accent. You know, much like Marie does most days.
Yeah. Marie can do the obscenities. I can't do the
And
accent.
how much damage does that do?
Let's see.
Come on.
8. Oh no, 8 must be it's one of the lower ones.
If you hover
anyway.
over it, it'll tell you what
That's
you got.
the minimum.
That's the minimum. 1
Eight's
1 plus
minimum.
the 6.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that is 3 more get through. Right. So the creature's pretty badly banged up as it kind of emerges through the entrance. Did Rav have any more stunt points to use?
He has another stunt point.
One more.
And-
He's probably gonna use duck and weave to gain +1 defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vicky's going to do the same.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys start ducking and weaving as this thing decides it's going to have its own back. So let's have a look at this flailing limbs attack. Whippersnapper can make a whip or whip grapple attack as a minor action and may still attack as a major action. Okay, so it's going to try and bite Rab and whip Vicky. So the whip will be the minor action. This is against
It
Vicky.
moved.
Shit, so it did. So it can't. So it'll just have to bite Rab then.
Okay.
13. Is that a
No.
hit, bearing in mind that Rab gets the bonus for his ducking and weaving?
That gives him a 16 for his defense in total. So no.
God. Right, so its beak kind of crack as it tries to get on this slippery little Glaswegian thug who's just like ducking and weaving and going, come on!
Come at me! Come on! Fucking
Yeah.
do it. I'll fucking chub you.
Your
Fucking
ma was a
cut you up.
snail.
I think you can hit me, your ma. Aye, your ma. Aye.
And Erin, what would Erin like to do?
I would
That
just like
double
to
team
point-
stunt
I
was
just
quite
like
good.
to point out to everyone, I lived in a housing scheme for 10 years, and this is actually quite refined.
Okay. Well, Erin is probably going to. Can she get a shot off with her bow at this creature before she'll exit?
Yes, she can.
Right. I shall do that then.
Okay. I'll assume you'd loaded in the build up to the fight. It would have been a minor action, but I'm going to allow that
Yeah.
because
I
that
can
seems
aim
fine.
then.
So you
can't
can, but if you aim and fire, you'll not then be able to move as well.
I? Right. Shit. Yes, that's true. Okay, I won't aim then.
Okay. So you take a shot, and then that'll be a major action. So you're going to minor action to move. So it'll be your speed in numbers of squares when you
Yeah.
come to move. But you fire the compound bow as the creature's trying to grab Rab. He kind of rolls round in front of it for a bit, and as it pans around with its jaws opening for it ready to try and bite his arm off, you thump and shoot it right in the mouth. Go ahead and roll the damage. 7 damage.
Not the
That's
best.
2 gets
but-
through. Minus
Right.
2.
And then I can get all the way up here.
Okie dokie. And you've
It'll
buggered
be
off
off
as
the
well.
map at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Indeed. So the next of the creatures is here. So this one's going to come running out this way, and from there it can only attack with a whip at one or other. So it's going to attack Vicky. It's going to attempt a whip strike on Vicky. 13. Does that hit?
Just.
Just. Right.
Oh.
So she takes 2 points of damage, although she can apply a toughness to that.
Yeah.
That's not going to really do much, I don't think, is it?
May need
What
to
was
up-
it? It's Mr. Tickle.
Yes. May need to up their whip.
It is
attacks
like
a
Mr.
little
Tickle,
bit.
isn't it?
So
Can you
this
imagine it as a
one's-
Mr. Man?
Yes.
Are the whips not just more like sort of grappling sort of style?
The sort of are really.
They're looking for stunts to pull you to the mouth.
That's right.
Yeah, for the most part. Oh, look, they're queuing up.
They're queuing up to try and get out, so it's Lizzie to go again now.
Very British thing to do.
They've integrated already. Look at that.
Yeah, fucking hell, didn't take them long.
Okay,
Sorry,
sorry, that's Lizzie, isn't it? So you're off the map now.
Yeah.
So that's one round towards reaching the others. So I'll take you off the map. So it is Vicky to go again.
Well, I'm just going to swing around with the axe, like straight at the.
Okie dokie.
I don't actually get any bonuses. Well, I do get bonus, don't I, for swinging the axe?
We're
You're getting +1 because you
flanking
outnumber it
it?
and you're flanking it,
Yeah.
so +2 actually you're getting.
yeah.
So that is 18 hit. Don't forget, by the way, I noticed this the other day when I was brushing up on the rules, but there are a lot of things that we've not been using thingy points for. God, I forgot what they're called now.
Conviction?
Conviction points for.
Okay.
One of which is you can burn conviction points to adjust dice rolls.
Right, okay.
Not that you need to here because you have twatted it. That's 5 points of damage, so it just glances off its armor again, off its carapace.
Might be worth trying that chainsaw.
It might be now that you're there anyway.
Yeah.
So it
Is as a minor action, is it possible to actually start up the chainsaw?
Yes, I'll allow that. Yeah. Okay, so this one's
I
going.
don't have damage stats for it.
Ah, right. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig out chainsaw stats. Ta-da.
It should be fun.
I seem to have the wrong set of.
I was thinking of painting
Games
myself
Master's
red at
cards
this
on.
point.
Yes. Okay, so let me just have
Stomping
a look
around in a big
for,
pair of shoes.
Shields, missile weapons, hazard categories. Okay, so damage from the chainsaw is 2d6 plus 3. Plus strength.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
It uses fighting, I take it.
It uses fighting, yeah. So that one's moved up into the queue, so it's Rab to go.
Okay, sledgehammer time.
Okie dokie. So whilst it's concentrating on trying not to get axed in the head, he whacks it upside the skull with his hammer
look,
and
4
4
stun
stun points.
Woo!
What would you like to use the stun points for?
Well, I'll roll the standard damage first, and then I'll have a look at the stuns. but
Okay. Jesus!
probably-
Nice.
Oh!
Yeah, that's okay. You can go ahead and describe that if you would like.
Oh, okay. Well, I get to use my stunts on the next one then, maybe. Am I allowed or not?
Depends what you're using for. There
I
is a
was gonna
stunt that
do-
would give you an attack on a different one.
Actually, yes, there is, isn't there? Let's see what the fuck's it called again.
Well, technically there are
Like-
two, because the dual
like-
strike or lightning attack.
Dual strike, don't think there's in these rules, Brian,
Oh,
because
so just
been
the fantasy.
dropped. Yeah, it's been dropped from. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll
yes.
say I'll probably just use lightning attack and then duck and weave again. So
Okay.
because it's the sort of thing he does. So lightning attack, he'll get an attack on the next one.
Right,
But,
okay.
yeah,
good.
you'll slam the sledgehammer into this thing's head, so all it splats everywhere, like smashing crab with a hammer.
Right, you are. So he smashes its skull in with the hammer, and there's just brain matter and sort of red,
Yummy.
pinkish ooze just splatters out everywhere. As the other one comes dashing down the passageway towards him, he swings round for that one as well. Go ahead and make your lightning attack on it.
Okay. Right. Sledgehammer again.
15, that's a hit.
Jeez. Rab his nails.
He is funny guy. 15, that's 10 damage. Gets
Fucking
through.
hell. Holy shit.
That brings it up short. It kind of
bet it does.
skids to a halt as he whacks it on the beak. You can hear a cracking sound as the beak starts to kind of splinter. This
Like a
one's
big
coming
crack
running
up
into the
its
attack.
beak.
Yes.
Ooh.
So Erin, you're now off the map as well, and will arrive at the same round as Lizzie does. So it is this one here, which can't. The whips can actually. So it's going to have to whip over the front one. So you're in cover, so it's -2 to hit you. You also, it has to attack over another one, so it is at -3 to hit you. So it's going to attack Vicky at -3. So whip strike. Oops, it is whip strike. 13.
13 still a hit.
Still a hit. Okay, and it does 4 points of damage.
Ooh. 'Tis but a flesh wound.
Right, you are. So it's basically smacked her with the whip, but hasn't been able to grab it to make a solid
What's
connection.
Vicky's toughness?
3.
Oh,
Bloody hell. Right. Jeez.
So anything less than 3 points of damage, and it's just not going to go anywhere.
That one's too far behind, so it can't get it out. It can jump down into that gap, but then it's stuck there. It can't get past these things here. So it is Vicky to go.
Right.
Right. So the
That one there.
thing is.
A quick question.
Yes.
Does chainsaws have a fear factor on them?
They're about to have.
Like the bit.
Yeah.
Not at that rate. Not at that rate, because that would only be like a 10.
It
Oh,
would.
that was a shit roll.
10 wouldn't hit it.
It would. So let me just check something. You would need a 11 to hit it. So, if you took 1 point's worth of fail states, and I would decide what the fail state is, but it would be a minor one, you can convert that to a hit.
I think that might be
Right. Is it possible to use a conviction point
Yes.
to change the stunt dice?
It is, I believe, yes. Let me
To
just
reroll that stunt
find-
dice.
I suppose it's an MP, which is essentially an MP
Conviction,
as well. So.
Dodge, recover, surge, survive. Yeah, 1 conviction point allows you to re-roll any one roll of the dice that you make, keeping the second result.
So it's re-roll the whole thing.
It's re-rolls 1 dice, I think. Re-roll.
One roll of the
conviction point
dice.
allows you to re-roll any one roll of the dice, so it would be you would re-roll the whole thing. Yeah.
Re-roll the whole thing. Re-roll the attack. Do it.
Gonna do it. Right, you are. Spend a conviction point and
Just made it.
No, that actually hits.
that's it.
Yeah.
And it has 2 stunt points.
Because bear in mind, she's still flanking it and outnumbering it, so that 9 is actually an 11, so that's exactly what's needed to hit. So that's
So
with 2
damage
stunt points.
roll. Here we go for the damage roll.
Okay, let's make it good.
8. That's 3. Gets past its armor.
Right. And with the extra 2 points, Rab gets a free attack.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So you're double teaming again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That stunt just basically is when you're actually fighting somebody up against the wall, as it were.
Yeah.
And he's got two stunt points himself.
Would
Yes.
they count with this?
Yes, because it's an attack. You get a free attack.
Yeah.
It's just because he got it through your stunt point.
That's a very good point. It's an attack that's come about through stunt points, but
Yeah.
Does that
Not
apply to
your
somebody else's
own.
attack, though?
I'm not sure. I'm going to say I'm going to let you have the stunt points.
Oh, okay. Right, well, I'll roll normal damage, and then... Does that mean I can then double team Vicky so she gets another go?
And this is why I've made the wrong decision, but okay, I'm going to run with it now. I've done it. Yes.
Right.
Oh, sure,
We-
you're
we
not
sh-
going to need it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, can he instead use it for... Hang on. God, I keep forgetting how much...
Nope.
Because Law Lightning attacks 3, isn't it? Fuck balls. Right.
Vicious blow, taunt, precise force. It's not going to make any difference, is it? It's
Moving
killed
on.
it.
This one is going to move. up
Actually,
to
no
there.
double team, because then Vicky can attack another one that's within range, presuming one
Does-
might be in range.
technically this one is, but there is there's a big corner in the way, so I'm going to say that that's not really going to be.
Would you allow a collateral damage
Yes.
strike, so it basically swings through the creature and hits the wall, creating a bit of a collapse, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, go on. I'll allow that.
Right, okay.
We'll make it a stunt attack, though, so you only have to hit, but instead of rolling your damage, you'll roll the damage from the wall.
Like it knocks some chunks down. I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, is this Vicky doing that damage?
No, it's you.
No, that's right.
Okay.
So you've hit the wall. Some of the not the wall. It's the rubble that you brought down earlier. You've caused some of it to collapse down onto this one here. That is going to be a hazard. Let me just have a look.
Am I just rolling
damage.
like a standard sledgehammer damage?
No, you're rolling the hazard damage. That's why I'm looking at the hazard. So moderate hazard, 2d6 damage.
2d6. Okay.
Double 6.
And that's 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 3 gets through. So yeah, it's partially buried by the stones. It's currently digging itself out and it's annoyed about it. So that was Rab's double team action. Now it's Rab's actual attack.
I'm sorry, but it's funny. Could he actually try pulling some of the fucking bodies out of the way so he can get in, or can he actually reach one properly?
Yeah, no, he can reach this one. From
right,
where
well,
he is, yeah.
you'll fucking go for it then.
Okay,
Right.
go for it.
When Ram's in combat, okay, so
That's
he's
a hit.
No stunts. You know.
No stunts, but it is a hit, even though it's in cover from this part of the wall here. That is still the rubble. That's still a hit. 16 damage. Fucking hell. That's 11. Gets past its carapace.
And what are you going to do for your minor action?
Good question. What are you going to do for your minor action?
What am I going to do for my minor action? Can I don't suppose I'd be able to pull one of these bodies out of the way or shift it out of the way.
Yes,
You
I'll
don't.
allow. Ooh.
Do you need to?
You don't really
Well,
need
it's-
to, no.
Well, I mean, they're backing up a bit. Like it's like.
No, but they're going to crawl over the remains of their own.
I guess.
Maybe the smell will put them off.
Maybe.
Let's see. Well, if it looks like they're not coming forward, he will. But if not, then I don't think he's got anything he can do.
Okay. So the one.
You could brace yourself.
Mhm.
I would brace myself in that situation.
Let's see. I'm just checking his stuff that he's got.
There's a because you were talking about a minor action, so you could brace yourself such that if they grab you,
Yeah.
and they try and like entangle you and pull you in, you get a saving throw against it effectively.
Yeah, he'll do that then. He might, he doesn't have anything else he can do. So.
Okay. Well, this one races forwards on a combination of its legs and its.
It races forward to the death.
And attacks Rap. Let's see now.
Brace for impact.
It's going to try and grapple him and get him out of the way. It's coming at him at high speed. It's like a body check. Oh, it's missed him. Missed
Like quite a bit.
completely. Number 9 is the one behind it. It's still digging itself out from where it got semi-buried. So it's Vicky to go.
Oh well, chainsaw to the face for this.
Off you go.
Right, that's yay!
Excellent. So down into the thing with the chainsaw. There's bits of its carapace and his beak flying. That's 11 damage. That's a bit more like it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That 6 gets past.
And then I'll do a whatever you call it, stand firm,
Okay.
brace or whatever, minor action.
So this one's in quite a bad way now from having a large section of its beak chainsawed off completely. And this one behind it is...
They're not that bright, are
At
they? Really?
this point, I think they're going to start taking morale tests, to be honest.
I was gonna say.
So it's 11 or better than need. Yep, that one's fine. It's coming forward.
All right, okay.
So it gets to there, and then it'll use its whips to try, and again, it's going to try and grapple Rab.
Okay.
So grapple attack. 14. That misses it. Oh god.
Yeah.
Right. And much though I hate to say this, it's Rab to go. It's Rab to go.
Swing that thing.
Yeah. And then you boss. There you go. There's your soundtrack provided.
15,
That's
that's
a
a hit.
Yeah. Damage.
Crunch.
12 points
Well.
of damage.
It's alright.
Fuck's sake. Do you want to explain yourself?
Are you gonna stand firm again?
Yeah, he will do. He's just basically like hammering the fucking smashing the shit out of these things.
Yeah,
Shouting
that one's
at
dead
them.
as well now.
Yeah.
So as it comes on, he smashes it where Lizzie's like chainsawed off half of its beak. He smashes the other half of its beak, and then round and bangs the sharpened shards of beak straight backwards into the creature's brain, and it just collapses in an oozing puddle of blood and bits.
Inexplicably, he pulls a bottle of Buckfast out of his pocket and takes a swig.
Okay, I'll allow it. This one's also going to need a morale test at this point. So it's still 11 this round. 12, okay, it's coming forwards, but it's a bit less confident.
Should be.
Playing whack-a-mole, real life.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's the next round, which means next time Vicky comes up, the others will also have reached the other group.
Okay.
So, but
Right.
for this round, it's Vicky to go.
Can reach that one there.
Not from there, no. You'd need to be standing on this corpse.
Right. In that case, I'm going to stand effectively and basically just prep for an attack action
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
on anything that moves
So
into
hold
that
the
space.
attack for the first thing that moves into that space. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next
Yeah.
thing up is this one, and it is going to move into that space. So go ahead and attack. If it survives, it will retaliate.
Nice.
13, that's a hit. So once again, the chainsaw comes down and does its grisly work. That's 6, get through its carapace. So it's in quite a bad way, but it is going
gonna
to
brace as well.
retaliate by attempting to bite her in the head.
Stand firm. We're standing firm.
And that's 14, that's a hit, and with 1 point of stunts, it's going to use a grapple stunt, so it bites her in the head, and as she's screaming, trying to get the beak off, it whips one of its whips around her as well. So she is currently grappled and has taken 3 points
No
of damage.
points of damage.
Fuck's sake.
Like it is taken.
She is, however, grappled, so there is at least that. It is Rab to go.
Right, well, he's gonna smash the shit out of this one,
Mhm.
concentrating on where the tentacles are that are coming out of its body that are grappling Vicky.
Right, okay, go on.
Let's see. Do-do-do. Ooh, 2 stunts as well.
He has, yes.
You love this, don't you, Brian?
Oh, this is great, this.
Yeah, you know. How does that do?
Okay,
That was 13.
13 damage, that's 5, so 8 gets past.
You could roll another d6 for 2 for stunt points if you wanted to.
It could actually, aye.
Or you could do pierce armor. How much does that one cost?
I mean, if I did double team, could Vicky try and free herself?
Yes.
What do you think? Let's see. It's a shame it's not 3 stunt points. That would be. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Can I could. After skirmisher, that won't do anything. If I knock it prone, that wouldn't stop it. Yeah, I'll do an extra d6, I suppose.
Okay, go ahead and roll the extra d6. If you roll a 6, you've killed it.
6. Here we go.
God's sake.
Okay, so it's got 3 hit points left. I'm going to say because you've done so much damage, just let her go. Because I think that's fairly likely under the circumstances. So you whack it heavily in that joint where that tentacles coming out of the side of the creature, and the force of the blows caused it to let go of Vicky. So it's the next one of these. So it's this one, and it's going to need a morale test again. It's gotten harder now, so it's 13 its target. Nope.
Get off, it ran away.
Yeah, it sort of starts scuttling backwards away from this psychopathic little creature with the strange nasally whine that it does. And it just scuttles away. It's like, I'm having none of this. So,
Absolutely fucking not.
yes. Take that one off. So next up we've got this one here, and it's also going to need a morale test of 13 or better. Oh, no. It's fucking off as well. It scurries off after its friend. So, it is Vicky to go, and at about the same time the others are arriving up there. But we'll do Vicky first, because I suspect the last of these creatures is about to meet its end.
Yeah.
Yep, you've hit it. Yep.
Blood everywhere.
Yep. So go ahead and describe that then.
So basically, as it's there, and it's a case of bring the chainsaw down, like in a stabbing motion, as it were, through the top of its head. And it's just like just rips through it.
Yeah, it rips through its head as she brings the chainsaw down on top of its skull. There's bits of sort of purplish, pinkish matter go flying everywhere, splatters Rab and Vicky and the walls, and stains the grass around it. Meanwhile, over at the other entrance,
And just imagine like Rab dipping his pinky and
Oh,
giving it a
shit,
taste to
that's
see
the
if it would
wrong
go with his
Probably
meat.
would, to be honest.
I was gonna say.
so let me just bring the
Where did that come from?
characters over. Yeah, I thought I had one of the player characters under the thing. So that should be...
Kind of need to get those.
Could Joe have get into Thomas in that time, by the way? Like,
oh, yeah.
we're all together.
I think we all could have pulled back from there, or we just sat there toasting marshmallows. on
You
the
can move those characters to anywhere on that map, and I'll put
We'll get
the...
to this fallen tree so we can sit down here.
Right, okay. So you guys are over there, and Erin
You just
and
went through.
Elizabeth, you've come dashing over the fence. You can see a burning car in the background, wedged into the...
Right, okay. That's what caused that then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout over who's most badly hurt.
Ow.
Are you? Is it really Joe?
He is in
I
a
lost
bad way.
16 hit points.
He's
I'm down to 10.
he's worse off than I am,
Yeah,
All right, I'll go over.
and he's a burn victim as well.
yes.
Can I
So
just say, out of this entire encounter, I'm covered in like spores that are bad for you.
Yeah,
So I've been poisoned by spores. I'm now covered in them. I've been beaten by aliens. I've been set on fire. I was thrown out of a car.
Would the spores have been burnt
Yeah.
off at this point?
Yes, they
Oh
have.
yeah, but on the bright side.
Now you just look like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You're not
forget
quite
it's
that
just-
badly burned, because you were actually jumping out of the car before it detonated, so you've got burns up your back. So you'll have like permanent burn scars on your back.
On his
But
butt.
fortunately for you, it hasn't like damaged your
down for a while.
supposed good looks or anything. Although it has
I'll make some
burned
calls and
a
see if
lot
we
of
can
your
get a
hair
plastic
off.
surgeon.
He's bald at the back of the head.
Maybe
Yes.
it's,
My hair.
he's still stinking of shit as well. Right.
Oh yeah, and I was covered in shit as well. Because Chris fucking convinced me to do that.
Caused all your injuries today.
You're not looking your best. Let's put it that way. Right. Don't want this
And then you have the audacity to go, who's injured?
They roll up, they take one look at him, and they're like, "That's beyond help."
Oh god. I'll take a look at him, but I'll be like, oh fucking hell, Joe, you
Take over your nose.
You have seen more badly injured people, but to be fair, that was actually in a morgue and they were dead.
Yeah. I'll roll medicine then to try and treat him.
Go ahead.
We are the walking
I
dead.
do have first aid kits and stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's pretty decent.
Okay. So that's 5 hit points, health points you can give him back.
Can I use the stunts to give him 3 more?
Yes, you can. You can.
Okay. So you're being nice now after I tried to kill you.
You're redeemed. Thank you.
Or Jenny Snapper or Whipper Jenny.
Okay, so Lizzie, anything you're going to do now that you've arrived?
I'm gonna see if there's anybody who's still like near the burning car or near any of the monsters or beasties and try to pull them to safety.
Okay, there doesn't seem to be. Everybody that is accounted for, everybody that should be here is accounted for. Adam seems to be the only person who's not injured. Thomas is quite badly injured, and Joe is very badly injured, but Erin seems to be dealing with him. The car's burning away merrily in the background, occasionally popping. Boom. It occurs to you that all the expensive equipment that you just sent Joe to pick up earlier today is still in the back of that.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Never mind.
I'm
It's
sure
must.
There's
May I
a
attempt
sudden
to
another
attempt to heal
detonation you
on
can't explain.
Sean?
As something else in the back of the car goes up. And that's Rab's other Molotov cocktail just gone.
Molotovs.
Right.
Even
I'm
from this
gonna-
distance, you can hear as it goes off. You can hear Rab going, "Oh man!"
Oh man!
Okay.
Right.
Could I
I'll
attempt
see if-
another
I'll
heal
see it.
on Thomas?
No, they've both had a heal. So
Okay.
you can't attempt another standard sort of first aid test on them today.
Has Thomas had a
Does a failed one count?
Oh, did he fail? Ah,
Yeah, he
in that
failed.
case, well, you can't, but somebody else can.
Well, after I've tended to Joe, Stinky Joe, I'm gonna go in. I'll help Thomas.
Okay. And Thomas is now sat up against that downed tree, that downed log. He doesn't look much better off himself. He's covered in multiple bumps and abrasions. It almost looks like somebody threw him out of a moving car.
At high speed.
At high speed, yes.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's 3 points.
Yes, he manages to get 3 points back. He's been bleeding for a while since you got here, so you've addressed some of the wounds and you've addressed some of the problems, but he's probably going to need a day's bed rest, you imagine.
I think so.
You have the other car, right? Still.
Yes. Bill's still with the other car. Could I get a perception hearing test from everybody, please? Or seeing, either one will do, but you can only roll one or the other. You can't make both. Okay, Thomas, you see a... I see you're here. I didn't think to check which you'd rolled. So, Thomas, I'm going to say C. You see a sort of pulsing blue light in the woods to the south of you.
It's the Rosas, man.
It does
Let's
look
split.
like it is.
Yeah.
Please.
All I would say is we were coming up to investigate the mine, and basically,
Should I mention that I have a gun on me?
Yeah, a lot of you are carrying illegal shit at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going to get everybody's guns off them. And I'm going to
run away.
basically run round and say to Rab, leg at the Rosas are on the way.
Absolutely.
And I'll give him all the weapons because he'll know how to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
Or
you
you'll
run
get
back to
stuff.
where the others are and thrust the guns at Rab, who's like, what? And you warn him that the police are on the way, and he's like, shit, and off he goes with his guns tucked under his... Yeah, oddly enough, you can swear you hear yakety sax in the background in the distance.
Yeah.
As he just disappears through the woods. Oddly enough, though, the
could
blue
escape.
light doesn't seem to be moving. I mean, it's flashing, but it's not getting any closer. It's not getting any further away either.
And we don't hear.
I'm holding them up.
Don't hear a
I
siren.
see the
You
light.
don't hear a siren, no. I mean, you can send somebody down to try and eavesdrop. It is in the woods rather than on
Send the drone.
Do you guys want me to go and do that? I haven't got any special eavesdropping skills, but I am the. Is that a
Send
drone?
the drone.
That's
Yeah,
his
it's a
drone,
drone.
yeah. Okay.
Put it in whisper
Guys.
mode.
Guys, I
Okay.
see the light.
You send the
Yeah.
drone over through the trees as quietly as you can, and you see there's a police car on the edge of the woods, standing talking to Bill, two uniformed officers. You see Bill's got his shotgun over his arm. It's cracked open. He's showing the fact that it's not currently loaded.
Right.
But they've let him keep it, so he's obviously not in too much bother. Does your drone have the ability to pick up sound or not?
Yeah, I can hear and see. That's it.
Right. In that case, you
I'll
can
get
hear
the
one
stats
of
up
you
for
can
it
hear
again.
one of the police officers with an incredulity going, "Moles? You were after moles?" You can hear the fucking explosion right the way back down in Cramlington City Centre, mate. What do you mean, fucking moles?
Yeah, he's covering
Big
for us.
moles.
I think we should probably try and get out of here, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can see him, like, he pauses for a moment, he takes a pipe out of his mouth, which isn't lit, and he goes, they were canny big moles, to be honest, Bonnie lad. I mean, I might have overdone it a wee bit. But I can show you my black powder license if you like. You were hunting moles with black powder? Aye. I mean, like I say, I might have overdone it a bit. I always get confused. Is it like, is it 1 tablespoon of black powder to every half a pound of cat litter? Or is it the other way around? See, I think what's happened there, Sunshine, is I've put far too much black powder in and not enough cat litter. And the other cop is going, "What do you use cat litter in ground charges for?" So, well, that's to make the smoke. Otherwise, it doesn't look like. What do you mean make the smoke? What are you trying to do? Smoke them out? So, it's an old habit. I used to do special effects, you see. That's what I've got the black powder license for in the first place. And modern black powder's too clean. It doesn't smoke the way that, like, Civil War period stuff does. So you use full as earth cat litter, and when it's vaporised, it looks like smoke. But what I've gone and done, you see, and you'll laugh. And the policeman's like, "Do you know, I don't think I will." No, you will, you will. What I've done there, you see, is instead of putting a little bit of gunpowder in and a lot of cat litter, I've put a lot of gunpowder in. A lot of gunpowder. That sounded like an artillery piece going off. Oh, I did mention there were big moles, right? So meanwhile, what are you guys doing?
I think we need to take that as them covering for us and giving us time to get away. So we need.
Yeah, let's get into the. We can get into the bunker.
Mhm.
By the time the car burns out, there'll be no prints or anything left.
They'll not.
Rab's legging it with guns.
Yeah. We've got my car, I think, not too far away. Could squish some people in there.
Yeah.
Just a not a question, a statement, more like. The number plate that would burn up in the wreck. It won't be identifiable because the number plate will still be linked to us.
It'll still be linked to you. We'll be able to recover the number.
How long has this situation gone on for? What we've just had?
It's been, well, you felled trees and knocked quite a while. You've been on for about an hour.
Well, the thing is, if Bill's spinning on this tail, they might not go and investigate it. So
I think they're probably going to investigate it either way. It was a big explosion.
you never know.
The battery's now dead in my drone then.
Your battery's now dead in your drone, right? You are.
The drone just falls on the copper's
you're
head.
realising that the warning light on the drone's battery's gone on. You try to bring it back.
It does have enough to do an auto home thing, but that's it.
Okay, so it comes back to you, so you're not leaving a big clue with a drone just plonked in the middle of the field. So the problem you've got is that car is definitely going to have. They're going to be able to trace the number plates. I say definitely. I mean, there is a chance the fire damage will make them impossible to read, but you would imagine with modern technology they're probably going to be able to.
Is there anything?
Chassis number.
I probably. Oh yeah.
I mean, you're a professional
I
thief, aren't you?
with this.
Yeah, you are.
I have experience with this. Is there anything that I can think of, or is
Probably.
it
Give me.
Is it too late?
No, you've got a couple of ideas. Give me a intelligence thieving bastard roll. I don't know.
I only have intelligence medicine, so I assume it's not that.
It's definitely not going to be that.
What? He's got intelligence medicine, and he could have been healing people. You know what I mean? All that time we were just sat around there.
That's a very good point.
I was the only one with medicine.
What do you need? I can
Okay, so what are your specializations?
My personal ones. I have my only specialization. It's not on here for some reason, but it was stealth hiding.
Okay, so something occurs to you, right? Normally, what you would probably do at this point is just report the car stolen.
Oh, okay.
In the hopes they'll fall for it. Now, normally you would want to have done that a little bit sooner. Like immediately you crashed it would have been a good. Because they will be able to tell that the report came in afterwards. Also, they'll be able to tell that if the cell phone was in the vicinity of the car.
I say we wait until we get home, and then we report. What time is it, roughly?
It's still morning.
You could.
Okay, that's fine. We get home, and we'll just say I had a late night in, or an early. You know what I mean? I got up late. And my car's gone.
Well, how about so that the cell phone signal's not coming from the bunker or something? We can either all drive out a ways, or like get some of us back to the bunker, and then you could fuck off out into.
It's not his car. It's one of Tom's cars.
Whoever's reporting it could drive.
Yeah, it's one of Tom's cars. It's one of the ones he's bought for resale.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be able to resell it now, to be fair.
No, not really.
Well, see, the thing is, you could just actually say, well, actually, I was at home and I decided to open the garage up today, went across there, and the car was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm reporting it late.
Okay. Okay, so he's going to need a lift into Newcastle and not Cramlin. So later on today, you make a call to the police and say that you were...
Had a rough night last night, so didn't think going into work in the morning was any good. So I thought I'd go and into work this afternoon, and got there and this car's missing.
Okay. Give me a communication persuasion test.
But this was after I'd actually been to the shops in it this morning to pick up some stuff.
Yes.
And I'd had the stuff which was in the back of the car, and I packed the car up and then went home, had my lunch, came back and it was gone. Or whatever.
You can add some bonuses for that, because it's not like that stuff was insured, so that stuff has been destroyed. It's cost you money. They can prove that you paid for that today. So that will lend some credence to your... Because who deliberately crashes their own car with a shitload of uninsured valuables in the back?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So go ahead and give us a communications deception test, but I'm going to give you a +3 bonus to it.
Oh, God, this is where it all goes horribly wrong.
Okay. So they take the details and say they'll have somebody out there as soon as possible. They ring you back within like 10 minutes. They said, about that stolen car you reported, sir. As luck would have it, 2 of our officers were in the area where the car was discovered. I'm afraid we have some bad news for you. I hope the car was insured because, well, we know it was because we've checked. Unfortunately, all the valuables you had in the back were destroyed in the fire as well. And they're not insured. Unfortunately, sir, there's nothing recoverable about the car at all. We'll give you an incident number. We don't really fancy our chances of catching the thieves, though, because they appear to have used some kind of accelerant to destroy the car and then run away. We're not entirely sure exactly.
Okay. Where was it found? Where was it found? Can you give me any details on that?
Yes, it was found in a field out by Cramlington Way.
That's interesting.
So we'll give you the incident number so you can claim on your insurance for the car, but I'm afraid you're out of pocket for all the goods that you had in the back of it.
Yeah, but I don't say, well, so my insurance does cover some of the content in a car if I can prove the content of the car.
Well, we can give you a list of the content that was in the car. We're assuming that the 2 Molotov cocktails that we believe were used as the
Molotov
accelerant
what?
weren't yours.
What?
Yes, that seems to be what the thieves have used to destroy the car, sir, as far as we can tell. But
That was a good car. I mean, Jesus.
well, unfortunately, it's also wedged in an old mine shaft, so it's going to take us some time to get it out.
Okay.
And we have to wait for the armed response team anyway, because there appears to be
Giant moles.
yeah, giant moles. There appears to be some of the creatures from the other verse in the area. So we're not quite sure if the car thieves were trying to use the car as a weapon. It's all very confusing, sir, but we're sorry about the car anyway. It's a complete write-off, but we'll send you the photographs through and all the paperwork.
Bugger. That's not good for business.
Afraid not, no. I can imagine it isn't.
Not in this day and age, anyway.
No, indeed not.
Creatures from another universe.
I know. I don't think that's covered by your insurance either, because there's also a possibility that the explosion might have been caused by some of them. They appear to have attacked the car. From what we can tell, there's been at least 2 joyriders in the car that appear to have jumped clear, but we can't make out much other than some muddy footprints in the earth around there.
And a faint smell of shit.
Anyway, so right, okay, yeah, we'll right. Thanks for letting us know, etc. Right, yeah, we'll do that part of the call, yeah, and we'll finish that up. However, just like to point out to everyone that we've actually provided the authorities with access to a site with a load of dead creatures in it.
Yes.
And
they know about it, so they'll take out anything else that's in there.
Yes, they will. The only thing you're worried about now is it's only about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from your bunker. So you're.
And can I mention something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The farmer was saying that he was clearing out moles and everything while there was a loud explosion heard. They're going to link the, exploding car to the farmer.
Not necessarily.
He admitted that he was clearing out moles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't say blew up the car though, did he?
No, he didn't.
But he covered for it. He was like, "Oh, that explosion you heard? No, it was me messing with black powder."
But he didn't know about the stolen car and the explosion of the car.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to follow up on it.
So he might be doing
talk about Cat later. They'll probably just ignore him because they think he's insane.
Because he's mental.
Because he sounds like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Believe
we
me,
need
as
to get
somebody
someone
who
to
used to
clear our
make up
tracks.
ground charges for battle reenactments, when you tell the police that you mix black powder with Fuller's Earth cat litter, they do give you a strange look like you're a maniac.
Well, at least you'll be safe from being from paraquat poisoning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wow.
Fine, we need to get someone to clear our tracks so that they don't come looking. Someone who can be living on the fringe or something.
Sniffer dogs.
Maybe a Mr. Philip Sharp or someone similar.
Or maybe a Vicky.
Mm.
She's a fringer.
I mean, you I assume you're all going back to the bunker that night, or are you all going to your own homes?
I would say we actually lay low for maybe a day
Yeah,
or
maybe
so.
not use the bunker for a bit, just in case the police are
Maybe
sniffing around.
until your insurance claims come through.
Or not.
Yeah.
They may never come through in this day and age.
Yeah.
That's it.
Maybe 2 weeks then.
I think we should keep a very close eye on the news, though, so if anything looks like it's really kicking off, we can head back to the bunker. But...
Okay. So, watching the news, you discover nothing's mentioned about the bunker. Nothing's mentioned about the car crash. Even what is mentioned is that armed response units and the military have engaged creatures from the Otherverse in an old drift mine near Cramlington. And that's on the news on permanent loop for the next 48 hours. You can see the like Royal Marines are coming out in full combat gear with body armor and heavy weapons, and you can see they're dragging out the corpses of these what's left of the whippersnappers. They're kind of pulling them out on huge gurneys. It looks very much like the Marines have done the job for you. They've gone into the mine and just killed everything with more than 4 legs, essentially.
More than 2 legs.
Well, dogs have 4
Unless
legs.
you took some dogs in.
Yeah, exactly.
No mention of a body being found in there?
Was there? There were 2 bodies, weren't there? Yes. There are mentions of some unidentified human remains that were in the the mines. But the interesting thing is, you dumped 2 bodies in there. According to the news, there's the unidentified remains of upwards of a dozen human people.
That's good then.
As well as, let's see, cattle, sheep, and other farm animals.
So we did everybody a favour, really.
Yes.
Yeah, damn right we did.
You did. So in clearing them off Bill's land and further away from you, although there was the risk that when the Marines came in at the end, they could have, thrown out a search cordon and found your bunker. There's nothing mentioned on the news at all about them discovering an old R1 bunker from the Cold War that somebody's been living in. So you don't think they've found it?
Did we not actually put an advert out saying that we were running a escape room business?
You did actually, so they'd probably already know that the bunker's there and wouldn't give it too much of a second thought. In fact, the authorities have probably rung you to check that all's okay with your bunker. Your escape rooms is how they phrase it.
Right, yes.
Yeah, as far as we know. I mean, who wants to front that call?
Someone with a high communication skill.
Yes.
Someone who's a sports personality.
Oh, right. Is that going to be me then? I'll take the police call then, even though I've got 0 bonus in communication. But let's just hope that they find me slightly unintelligible.
Well, that was half the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'll do that.
They'll ask you if all's well at the escape rooms. They've noticed that you have a business close to where the infestation of alien creatures were, and they recommend that you allow them access to the bunker to just to make sure there's nothing in there from the Otherverse.
Well, I see the problem with that, officer, is like we're no there 24/7, so I'll need to drive up for Newcastle with keys to let you in.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to think, working that round my schedule.
So is the bunker sealed from the outside?
Yes, the bunker's sealed for the outside. We were up last week, I think.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Just seeing, doing the usual sort of checks to see there's no water, it's no that it's still in good physical condition,
Right. Okay.
because it's old concrete, some of these old bunkers they leak and everything. But the last time we were up, there was nothing wrong with it, and we definitely secured it for the outside.
Okay, so as I understand it, it's an R1 bunker, and I have the plans for an R1 bunker here. There should be 2 entrance points and an air intake. So
Aye.
if 2 of our officers go up there just to make sure that those entrance points are still secured,
Aye.
if they're still locked, then we know that the creatures haven't been able to get in.
Aye.
And
Brilliant.
we'll let you know. If they are, we would like your permission to go in and deal with anything that might be in there if we find that the bunker's breached when we get there.
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
When are you going to go up? Because I can possibly make myself available so that there's somebody on hand if it's been breached.
Okay, well, we'll get back to you with the exact time. In fact, I'll just put you on hold.
Okay.
Okay, he comes back in about 5 minutes and he organises a time for you to go up there and meet him.
Aye.
Or meet
Okay.
the officers. He's not going to be there. They're going to send 2 uniformed officers. It occurs to you that what you've essentially just done is given them permission to meet you up there and enter the place if it is breached, which it shouldn't be, to be fair. But if it is, they're going to find the armoury.
Exactly. They're not just going to find the armory. They're going to find the lab,
Find Rab's
and they're
weed.
going to
Oh.
find Rad's drug stash.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. It's all props.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to test it. They're probably also going to notice that in the armory they're going to find all the weapons that mysteriously went missing from the Hancock Museum last year.
Right. So I'm going to do my damnedest to get up there before the police get up there and make sure it's all secured.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Okay.
don't want to go in if
Yeah.
it's secured.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a quick run about and check, and then be standing nonchalantly at the car and go, "Oh, I got here a bit early. The traffic wasn't as bad as I thought."
Okay.
Yeah.
So as the 2, you get up there and make a quick check. Everything's secure, everything's where it should be. You lock all the rooms, you lock the armory, which has its own lock on, and you secrete the armory key separately from the others and start working out a plan in your mind to say that the key to that room's missing if it comes to it. And then you...
Got a locksmith booked for that one. The key's not. We've never had the key for that one.
Good one, yeah. So you then secure...
And I'll throw all Rab's drugs into the fucking armory that I'm locking while I'm on.
Right,
Probably a
okay.
good idea, yeah.
You stick all of Rab's drugs in the armory, which, earlier I said the armory is a bit bigger than you need, really.
Yeah.
Just as well.
It's just as well, because now that all Rab's drugs have been stuffed in there, it's not looking so big. It's looking a bit crowded in there.
I was going to say, you could say it's a flooded room, and if you actually open the door, it could change the integrity of the entire facility. So they won't open it. Because it'll cost them too much money to get someone to come and check it.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
No, I'm
Well,
going to stick with my story.
You're going to stick with your story? Right,
I'm
you
going
are.
to stick with my story.
So by the time the 2 officers actually arrive, you're standing nonchalantly in a field next to... Actually, I'm going to show you the field, because I do have a map of the field above your
Just a quick question.
bunker. Yes.
What's that blue shimmery thing?
Oh, that's the antiseptic footbath thing.
All right. Okay.
The decontamination footbath thing. Aye. So you wade through that. It's like... when you used to go to the...
Swim
swimming
baths,
pools. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Sheep dip.
yes, exactly.
yeah.
Sorry. I've been dealing over the past month with potentially, I think, about 300 different pesticides.
All right.
So, not physically.
Yeah.
Just the
Oh, no.
data. Just the
But
data.
enough about Sean's social life.
Okay,
Couldn't
so...
resist that one, Sean. Sorry.
Okay, so you should all be able to see the map of the field above your bunker.
Nah, it's black.
It's black.
It's
I don't
black.
have a social life.
Black.
Oh, what about us?
Just turn.
Yeah, this is it. This is my social life.
So
And
that's all right.
suddenly
It's
I
mine as
feel-
well.
Aye, likewise.
Now you should be able to see it all.
Yes, why is there a rock
Yes.
formation that looks like
Like a fairground simulator, we can get to build on here.
that rock?
it.
The rocks kind of look like a little penis. Sorry.
That's Dwayne.
Well, they do now you mention it.
Especially if you
This is
zoom right out.
unacceptable
Oh,
for
shit.
stream.
That's actually
Zoom.
a single asset as well, so there's nothing I can do to change it.
Yeah, because
And
if
now
you
I'm
zoom
never
right
going to
out,
be able
look
to
at
see
it.
that. Yeah, no, I don't
It's
need
even
to.
sort of flesh coloured.
What's this?
Jenny's got penises on the brain.
What's this?
What's that?
Hold
It's something new.
Hold on a
What's
second.
this?
I haven't.
What's this?
Right, what are you asking us about? I couldn't see where you were pinging.
Ah, that thing.
That's the air intake.
Okay.
So what we have is this here is the air shaft. So if we with Jenny's penis fixation, I'm not sure I should be using words like shaft.
Probably shouldn't know. You
So
put a penis rock in the middle of the field.
well, there's a quote from Gamer Nights to go on the. Okay, so
If you can't see it, zoom out, right?
I can see it now. You've mentioned it. I'll never fucking unsee it now. So yeah,
Round the hill, we
this
can
here
watch that.
is the air intake. It's wide enough to get an arm down, but it's not wide enough for somebody to climb down. And most of the creatures of the other verse you've seen, except for the slime molds, couldn't get in or out of it.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Up here, you see the ruins of what used to be the guardhouse.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And in those ruins, you'll see a metal hatch.
Mhm.
That is the main hatch, the northwest hatch.
Aye.
The eastern hatch is not in this field, it's in the adjacent field.
Yep.
So it's not technically on this map, because this map's about half the size of the actual bunker map,
Mhm.
which gives you an idea of how big the bunker is, really.
It's quite large.
Yeah.
There's water over here.
Yes, that's water. It's just a small puddle. It's nothing that you need to worry too much about. It's also a good bit away from the actual bunker itself. So obviously this hatch leads down to a long
Well, it's
corridor.
good to know, because if that's a puddle, then that's kind of where the water could end up going, so we could put a water tower there.
Yeah,
Like,
good
to
point.
catch shit. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let you have a look at your. Would you rather? I'm going to quickly nip to the little games master's room. Would you rather be having a look at the field map or the bunker map?
Field map, I think.
Field map, right? You are. So I'm going to leave you on there. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Right. So I'll just feed them the line that, oh well, everything's locked. Go round to them, aye, everything's locked, nothing's in.
Yeah, you could walk around, say, look, here's the.
Who's colouring the penis rock in? Not me.
Right. You could say, right, look, it's secure, it's locked, doubly padlocked or whatever,
Mhm.
the hatch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And show them the other hatch, show them they're both secure.
Do you know what you can do? You could probably just blather on about the history of the place and bore the living shit out of
That
them.
was pretty much the thing. Start going on to them, say, oh yeah, we looked all over till we found a suitable venue for this escape room. We eventually came to see this with the farmer's permission. It's absolutely perfect, you know. And I'll give them all the sales pitch about the escape rooms and all the events that we run, and the ghost hunts and the realistic sets we've put in for the
What if
the
one
mad
of them's like really
scientist
into it
lab.
though?
They
If
go
they
to
are,
like a
if
story.
they are, then fine.
Say, In 1927, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah, just start spouting.
If they're really into it and they say no, can we actually book a go? And say, oh well, sorry, but we're fully booked out till next year.
We're booked out till next year. It's been a popular thing.
Yeah,
What with everything that's going on.
yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, with me having been on the telly, having saved
People.
people, Molly and what's
That's
his
true. That's
yes,
true.
I saved them. Everybody wants to come to your thing. Every time I go on there, I have to do like live Reddit interviews and all sorts. You wouldn't believe it. I'm going to start when we're introducing ourselves. I'm going to start saying that my character is an escape room. I'm the owner of the infamous escape room.
Yeah.
I'll just blather on endlessly about the. Well, the thing is, you have to try not to sound nervous.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know, because otherwise the police will be like, "Why is she blathering on?"
Start talking in a boring monotone voice.
Yeah.
Like you know.
Just like a bored high school teacher.
Yeah.
Hello, class. Today we're going to be
Using
doing
careers.
mathematics.
Driving test instructor.
Yeah. I still
Follow
think
the
I'd
road
have
ahead.
done better in chemistry if my secondary school chemistry teacher hadn't had a voice that was the best soporific I've ever had. Honestly, we'd start talking and the whole class would be asleep.
Yeah, my history lecturer when I was doing history A level was like that. I could not keep my eyes open when
Yeah.
in class. Everyone's like,
Hey, sorry
know.
about that.
Alright.
Okay, so when the police arrive, you're kind of standing nonchalantly in a field, and the two uniformed officers join you, introduce themselves, check who you are. As the walk across the field, one of them goes, "Hey, you see those stones down there? Look like a penis." Apparently.
Well, it's one of the things when people are coming down, you see, you know you're in the right field because there's a rock formation that looks like a giant cock.
Turn left at the giant cock.
Sorry, sorry, penis officer. Have to mind my language, don't I?
No, that's all right. We understand. Okay, well, let's get a look at these locks. So they climb up on here and they have a look at the lock, which is clearly secure. They rattle it a bit. Yeah, there's not been anything in here.
Aye.
Could you just show us the entry point, then, and we'll go and take a look.
Aye. So I'll take them across the other one. I say, we've got to secure it because before we took it over, vandals had been through the whole place.
Yeah, you get
Over
that
and
with a
over.
lot of these places. You do.
Aye.
Aye. Little tearaways will come in, they'll spray paint stuff, they'll do all sorts of. As you're walking across the other field, you actually hear voices in the field, and the police officers go, "Do you know, speaking of which, have a look at this." And he shines his light, and you can see this group of teenagers like coming across the field. They've all got like bottles of booze and stuff. One of them goes, "It's the bitties!" and they all scatter. They're all run away. Aye, see? You're going to have... It's just as well that you're well secured. I hope you've got good security indoors as well, because it looks like they've...
Well, we've done it out. We run it as an escape room experience.
Yes, we noticed that from the notes.
Aye, for the it's you know, we've got a website and a Facebook page and that with loads of pictures, but we've got CCTV inside that's monitored.
Got you.
So if they do get in, they can also that inside those doors, there's double doors that are locked again, and all the internal doors are locked. So they're basically going to be in a corridor, and there's cameras everywhere.
Right.
There's no way that if they do get past that first set of locks, they're not getting far, and we'll have footage of them.
Well, that's excellent. That's excellent. Well, just to give us a call if you do have any more trouble with them.
Aye. I mean, we're contemplating some kind of security on the field, but we're certainly thinking about growing at least some tall grass to kind of partially hide the entrance, just from the security viewpoint, and also to enhance the customer's experience because they like it. They like the idea that it's hidden.
Yes. Yeah.
The marketing people tell us, try to make it as hidden in that as possible.
Yeah, I can imagine. What I would say, if you want to secure it still further, is these fences here. They're really easy to climb.
Aye.
Because they are just they're kind of a half fence, really, because it's just fence posts and runners.
Aye.
Which is common enough on a field. There's not a lot of point if it's just a farmer's field growing crops in spending the extra, few thousand to put palings on as well. But honestly, I would recommend, given that that's not what you've got here, you've got something you want to keep people off. I would imagine you've got a lot of valuable electronics and stuff in your escape room.
Yes, we do.
So-
It's done out. We've got rooms done out like a movie set. We've got rooms that we've got like a room that looks like a mad scientist laboratory, and
All
we've
right,
got,
okay. Cool.
when you go in, you go through a fake decontamination chamber.
Excellent.
So it's like it's a full sci-fi experience for people that like that, and a lot of people like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We thought about maybe doing sort of Second World War themed, but the marketing, the market research said people want the science fiction
Right, okay.
thing, so we've done that instead.
People
I might
still
have
want that with actual alien creatures running around these days, do they?
Yeah, you can't. Honestly, I think it makes them more interested in it.
Right, okay.
Well,
There's not as queer as folk, we used to
folk.
say down in Yorkshire, isn't there?
No. I'll have a word with the council, because I was talking to a man for the council who thought we might be able to get planning permission to put like a metal and gridded fence up, to be a bit safer, but it's to do with heights. So I'm going to try and book a meeting with the council about getting a decent height fence
Okay.
up, because I don't know that everywhere's got different bylaws
Well,
for how high you can have the
the
fence.
laws around here, you can have 2 metres without planning permission. So you could enclose this in a 2-metre fence. Now, the posts you've got here, you'd need to replace those with longer posts, because if you tried to run 2-metre high palings off posts this height, they're not tall enough posts for that, so the weight will eventually pull them over. You'd need to dig these ones out and replace them with posts. You want 8-foot tall posts dug 2 feet down into the ground.
Aye. Well, I'm probably going to look at, like I say, we're probably going to look at a metal one once again to get that more sci-fi look.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
Aye. And that way, we can have lockable gates and some cameras on the gates. Because if the teenagers have been using this as a hangout for, well, who knows how long, decades.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be a hard habit to break for them, and a fence might,
I know the farmer that used to own this land that sold it to you, he was always having trouble with the kids on this land. It was a bane of his life.
I do think it was a factor in mind, because we, obviously we're a business, we're a conglomerate, really, like it's a small one, but you know what I mean. And we were fairly determined to make a proper go of this as a business, and that means security and all. So it gives him a bit more security. Aye.
Yes, I can imagine it probably does. Having, I mean, you talked about CCTV cameras. It might be worth having some outdoor ones installed.
Yeah, when we put in a metal fence, we'll probably think about that. Where obviously there's planning concerns and consent concerns around putting any kind of building anywhere near this bunker, because it's it's listed, believe it or not. So we've got to be careful about what kind of buildings we erect, because
because
of the listing.
Surprises a little bit, because there's so many of them along this coastline. Like they're all over the place.
Well, with this being the specific type, the R1 type, is it right?
R1, yeah.
R1, but it's been the R1 type with lots of rooms.
So a radar bunker, it's been.
They're less common than some of them are just like one room things.
Yeah.
Sorry, I used to do a bit of me and one of my partners in the business, we did a bit of exploration of some of the bunkers before this. It's what gave us the idea.
Right, yeah.
Got a bit of interest in sort of that kind of history type thing. But there's the other entrance.
Right, excellent. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that looks nice and secure. Rattles the locks again. Yes, well, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Thank you very much for
Okay.
showing us that. I'm pretty confident this is okay. But if you go in and you do think there's anything at all that you were worried about, just give us a call and we'll organise to have people come and
Little do they know.
If there's
I
anything at
heard
all
there's
you're
a
worried
large
about.
mole problem in the area.
Well, the farmer was a bit overzealous the other day trying to get rid of some moles. So
And a bizarre
Aye,
story about
and-
that. We did hear about that. Turned out it wasn't the farmer killing moles that was the big. Believe it or not, somebody twacked a car down in Cramlington, drove it into one of the mine shafts, and blew it up with Molotov cocktails. And the farmer didn't hear any of that.
He is a
Deaf
bit
as-
deaf.
Deaf as a
death is a
post.
post. Aye.
Deaf as a post.
Aye.
I mean,
Well,
he's getting on
you
a
know,
bit, but-
we were bringing in all kinds of plant equipment. Went over, obviously with the courtesy of obviously, we're terribly sorry. And he'd never heard us bringing in some of the things like the concrete mixer and that. Which
Some of the lads thought he was joking at first, but I mean, nobody's going to come up with a cover story that full of holes.
aye.
It's one of those instances where, like, it's such a stupid cover story, it's got to be true because nobody's daft enough to try it. You know what I mean?
Aye. Well, as soon as as soon as the word gets out that was alien creatures along there, I'm going to be dealing with my phone red hot again. Because every time they spot a few of them, I get my bookings into the escape room.
Do you really?
Aye, you wouldn't believe it, that like, on the phone going, want a group of us want to do that, We get away for them alien creatures. No, you wouldn't.
Well, there's now
Aye.
there's now the strangest people, like now the
No.
strangest people. Honestly, the number of calls we get these days that involve the things, or that people think are going to involve the things, and when we get there, it's somebody's stray dog.
No,
The-
I was on the subway train the night they all came in.
The other officer goes, "That's where I know you from. You were on the
Aye.
television programme about that, weren't you?"
Aye, yeah, aye. We were on the subway train.
Actually, that does give me a question.
Aye,
There was a guy on there with you.
aye,
Robert.
Rab, aye.
Aye. Do you happen to know where
You're
he's
going to
at?
ask me. I knew you were going to ask me that because everybody always fucking asks me that. Sorry about the swearing. I know we're both for Glasgow, right? But Glasgow used to be the second city of the Empire, and it's fucking massive, right? And he's for one of the schemes, and I'm not for one of the schemes. I'm not a schemie, right?
No, I just meant, you'd both been on a train at the same time and you were on that thing.
Sometimes, if you're in one of the less, shall we call it, less salubrious drinking places in Newcastle, I'll bump into him. And sometimes I get a phone call for a number I don't recognise, and it's him.
Right.
And sometimes he turns up when I'm doing my, because I don't know, but professional chase tag on a team.
What's chase tag?
Oh God. Right. Well, anyway, I do this professional sport, right? He's a big fan of the team, and he shows up in the audience. He showed up in the audience before we were on the train that night. We were
Right.
sat in the train talking about it when it all happened.
Got you.
Okay.
Well, look.
So I honestly, I don't know if I knew where he lived. I'd have told the first set of officers that asked me.
Right, okay. Because
But
we
I
are
don't
looking
know.
for him, and he can help us with our inquiries on one or two things, let's just say.
Aye. Well, if he phones me and if he turns up, I'll phone you.
Right, brilliant. Okay, good.
That's the best I can do.
He hands you a card with his police contact number on it. He says, that's the number. If you call that, it comes straight through to this. And he points to the phone cum radio thing that British police officers wear on there. You're familiar with them.
Aye.
That'll come straight through to me. So you can or better yet, call the 999s, because he's probably dangerous, to be fair.
Well, I've been getting that impression,
By all accounts, he is quite dangerous. We've got we want to speak to him in conjunction with a few A few incidences, shall we say, and the Glasgow police are looking for him as well. So, yeah, the sooner we can speak to him, the better. And I
I'll
would
put my
stay away from him.
concerned face on.
Yeah.
Is this where you just see Ram's head pop out of a bush and then pop back in again?
Me trying to make the cutthroat thing without the police noticing.
Yeah.
I know this is. I know for the places he hangs out and where he comes from, he's no exactly somebody you'd take home to tea with the vicar and your mum, is he?
No,
So-
he's not. He's
no.
not.
So
He's not.
like I say, I've got this now. If he phones me, whatever, I'll phone in whatever information
Excellent.
I get. But he's kid, he'll just like phone up and be like, "Oh man, are you going to be playing in this game?" And well, yeah, aye.
Well,
I'm
you see,
fairly
you should be
public,
careful who you give your number out to.
Aye. Aye. Yeah, I mean, you don't think you after the thing on the train, you've
True.
all been through something terrible, and you don't think about
No,
what
that's
kind
true.
of people they are, and you
yeah,
get your number out,
You get that a lot. People that go through that kind of traumatic event together. And then sometimes they regret it afterwards because, you went through the same kind of traumatic event. You naturally assume there's some kind of bond, and then 6 months down the line, you realise that this is not the kind of person you would normally be associating with. Aye. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to have to go. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Hope it all goes well. Do stay safe, and, let's hope this whole
Aye.
alien invasion thing goes away soon.
Aye, I'm just
the
going to
real
be
one.
here. I'm going to be here for a little while because I've got to phone. Obviously, this is not just my business. It's a group of us have the business.
Right,
So I'm just going to make some phone calls for the car
right, okay.
to let them know everything's all right.
Right. Okay, well, you do that. Do take care. Well, hopefully won't see you later. No offence, but you know what I mean.
Aye.
And with that, they wander off back to the police car.
I'll go back to the car and I'll phone
Go for that.
Erin, Adam, Joe,
Okay.
Thomas, and say, right, the police have been, made sure everything's locked up. Everything seems to be secure.
Okay.
We had some teenagers wandering across with booze, but they wouldn't have been able to get in anyway. They asked me some questions about Rab,
As always.
All right. Okay.
as always. I tell them I've not seen him. So, what do you want me to do? You want me to go into the bunker? Do you want me to?
Just keep it locked for maybe a week.
Maybe leave it for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aye. Aye. And then I'm going to drive the car a few miles,
Yeah,
get out my chuckaway bundler, and phone Rab.
right.
Ah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
I'm not phoning him off my line in case it's being monitored because I'm no daft.
Yeah.
I'll get out the car, go a bit away for the car, and make the phone call.
Okay. Okay, and what are you saying to Rab?
I'm going to say to Rab, right, the police are looking for you again.
He seems fairly convinced that this is just a permanent thing. He also says something that strikes you as really odd, and you're not sure that he actually understands the words he's using because he's just gone, "Oh man, they're always looking for me at it's that racial profiling,"
For fuck's sake.
which has left you wondering: does Rab actually not know what that is, or does Rab not know he's white?
Or does he think it might be, English coppers and Scottish criminals?
Well, quite.
Aye,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. In case they wanted to have a look at, I've planked your stash in the armory. I took your key, the key for the armory, off the main set, so they couldn't get in if I was there. They'd be like, "Oh, we've never had a key for that," right? So you're looking for your stash. It's in the armory, which is locked up tight. All right.
Right, he seems very concerned about it, but it's all safe though. They didn't find
It's
it.
all absolutely safe. They didn't want to go beyond the fucking main door, man. As soon as they saw it was all locked up, they were off. They fucked.
Oh, that's great. It's great, he says, in obviously not a Northeast English accent like mine.
Yes, obviously.
But I am
Aye.
not
So-
attempting a Glaswegian accent in front of my Glaswegian wife.
No, please don't. Please don't. Yeah, please don't.
And her Glaswegian brother who's coughing at me from the door.
And remember that email address to send your complaints to is
dh9radio@mail.com. That's dh9radio@mail.com.
We used to have one called "We Probably Won't Read This."
We do still have that.
Yes.
If you do want to send us any abuse, please send that to we probably won't read this at mail.com. That's we probably won't read this at mail.com.
Yeah.
I check it about once a year. Honestly, the way some people spell swear words is amazing.
Yeah.
So there's 4 letters in it, mate. You got 2 of them wrong.
Stated up because of the thing with the car, because of the thing with the farmer, and because of the thing with the bunkers. They're probably going to be looking at this site, so I think it's going to be hot for a minimum of a week. I think the woods are hoaching with cops as they try to pull that car out the entrance.
Okay.
So I would definitely lie low, mate.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's not my plans for the next scenario.
You just move the camera forward a bit, you know.
Yes, no, we will do. That's all we'll do. We'll
But
tilt the camera.
this is my burner. Don't phone the main one. I'm only going to have this for about 14 days, right?
He understands.
Yeah.
He
Then I'm
understands.
gonna-
He'll pick up some more burner phones when he's got a moment.
Aye. And I'm going to, when I get back in, I'm going to hang up the call. I'm going to get back in the car. I'm going to hide the burner under the passenger seat so it looks as if somebody's dropped it in the car.
Right.
Right.
Okay, you do that and then drive back to your...
And yes, I don't know altogether too much about this kind of thing because I watch too many crime dramas.
Yes, that's why you know too much about that sort of thing. Okay, so you head back to the safety of your official residence with the adventures of the last few nights firmly under control now that the military have taken over dealing with the whippersnapper infestation, and the police have literally walked over the top of Rab's massive stash of drugs and all the stolen weapons that you've got hidden down there.
we'll be using them later.
You'll be using those a lot later, I shouldn't wonder. Okay, well that seems like a logical stopping point, I think, rather than going straight into the next scenario, which I am now going to have to move a little bit later in time. So we'll move the camera before next week. It'll be like a few weeks down the line instead of... So everybody can restore all their health points.
Yay!
Because by the time we play next, it'll be a week or 2 down the line, and I might move that penis-shaped rock formation that Jenny's fascinated by. Because now I can't unsee it at all.
No one can.
And the further you zoom out, the worse it looks, to be fair.
I know. It does. Because I'm always like really zoomed out to make sure I see where the map is, and that was the first thing.
I thought you were going to say that's the first thing you look at. Look for,
Okay. So we'll pick up next week from once you've sort of back in the bunker. So it'll be a few weeks in time further down the line.
Okay.
So thank you very much for coming. Hope you've enjoyed the game. It's a little bit shorter today, but that does seem like a logical stopping point.
Yeah.
Rather than pressing on.
Who keeps drawing over the piece?
I have no idea. Well, it's the same colour as your character coloration. It's a sort of...
It's not me.
I thought that was a light blue.
Mine's like a very pale lilac colour.
Anyway, if we can prise Jenny's eyes away
Yes,
from
Ben!
If I can prise Jenny's eyes away from the penis-shaped
Ben's
rock
me.
formation long enough, I believe she has something she would like to tell the audience.
Yes, if any of you are on Twitter, then you should definitely follow the Gethsemane Games Twitter account because we update about games and also products and things like that. And you should also take a look at some of Brian's stuff.
Yep. You should indeed. So do check out my Patreon, where you will find a lot of maps. The one we used today for the upstairs of the bunker will be appearing on there in the next few days. You know, the field above the bunker. Actually, it can't. It's just occurred to me. I can't include that one because certain elements of it were not by me. The bulk of it was. Certain elements were actually added in Roll20. So I probably won't add that one. But the bunker itself is already available on our Patreon. So it's Brian F. Irving on Patreon. Or if you want to support us on Coffee, check out Gethsemane Games or Brian F. Irving. I've forgotten which one is named under. On Coffee, I'll put the link in the doobly-doo to steal a term from Matt Colville there. Not only can you buy me a coffee, which is what keeps me going as I write these adventures and design these maps, but also we've opened a coffee shop on Coffee, so you can buy some of our products there. Currently, the Adventures Without Borders, which is 3 at the moment, there'll be more coming, system agnostic fantasy adventures are on there. One includes a haunted mansion, another one includes a cave system, and the first one is a tomb full of traps and puzzles and horrible monsters. Then there is a way of linking them all up. Check us out on Coffee or on Drive-Thru RPG under Gethsemane Games. It's also available there. And if you buy something from us on Gethsemane Games Drive-Thru and you are accepting emails from people you've purchased from, you will find that you do get regular discounts for new products and whatnot. We release maps and RPGs and adventures and so on there fairly regularly. Haven't missed anything, Jenny, do you think?
Maybe your website, your actual website.
Maybe my actual website, yeah. Gethsemane Games.
You can't remember it, can you?
something.com.
Yeah, GethsemaneGames.wix/GethsemaneGames.com, I think. But if you just Google Gethsemane Games, it comes up on the first page anyway.
Yeah.
And you can also check out DH9 Radio. We are hoping that as we expand DH9 Radio, we're looking to expand it into web television as well as just radio, at which point we'll be airing this and other web series on DH9 as well, especially since DH9 produce a lot of the music and sound effects.
And some of us are part of the Illuminati podcast.
We are indeed. 3 of the people on this show are part of the Illuminati podcast, which is a podcast on DH9 Radio where we talk about all things geeky. Sean, myself and Jenny, as well as 2 other people that if you watch one of our other live play series, you will also know. That is Louise and Patrick. Also join us on the Illuminati panel, and we talk about games, cosplay, sci-fi, and nerdy stuff. Well, we're actually on hiatus with that one at the moment. Season 6 is just finished. Season 7 will be starting at the end of February, start of March.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's everything this time, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in and watching it. Do let us know what you thought about it. Send emails to dh9radio@mail.com and just include the name of the stream. So in this case, just Pandora's Age or Pandora's Wake. Tell us what you thought about it, or mention it on the YouTube chat when we get it up on YouTube. We'll be back next week with some more of this. We will also be back on Tuesday with Fallen Kingdom, which is our dark fantasy setting, which shares some of the players with this and not others. So do come along and watch that one as well. So thank you very much. take care, stay safe, and we'll see you hopefully on Tuesday, but if not, then certainly next week. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.